The day has been circled for months, and it is finally here. The NECBL's best have ferried over to the island, and they have arrived. It's the 2022 NECBL All-Star Game from Martha's Vineyard. For all those who dare, welcome to the Shark Tank. Eli Kleinman and Matt Scalzo, pleased to bring you all the action today, the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game itself. Matt, what is it like being here today?
Well, it's great. We're going to get a chance to see some of the NECBL's best perform in front of MLB scouts from every organization. I'm just really excited to be here, excited to see, Home Run Derby. Some players expected to put on a show, and then the All-Star Game itself. It's just a laundry list of stars right now.
Some excellent players in this game and in the Home Run Derby. A lot of power will be showcased in that one. Is there a player you're looking forward to watching today that maybe you haven't seen all that much this summer?
Well, when I think of that, the first player that comes to mind for me is Colton Ledbetter from Newport. He's tied for the league lead with home runs, or he might have even taken it from now. But he's just been so fun to watch in the two games I've seen from him, and I'm really excited to see what he has for display today. He's a left-handed hitter, so him in the Home Run Derby, that normally combines pretty well here at the Shark Tank with how the wind blows out towards right. So I'm excited to see him.
Well, you took a guy from the South. I'll take a guy from the Northern Division, Ryan Ignafo for Upper Valley, the Eastern Illinois product. Just so much talent, has that power. He's right up there for the lead in home runs, high average. He's a guy who absolutely rakes. He'll also be in the Home Run Derby. A lot of excitement to come. It's the NECBL All-Star Game, and the coverage rolls on from Martha's Vineyard. Welcome back to our coverage of the NECBL All-Star Game. I'm glad to be joined by the commissioner of the NECBL, Sean McGrath. How does it feel to have the game out on Martha's Vineyard today?
There's nothing like bringing out the best of the best in the NECBL to the island. So we're thrilled to be here. It's a beautiful location. Couldn't have asked for a better day, and we're just off to a great start.
Obviously takes a ferry to get here. What was the process like getting everyone out to the island, shuttling everyone across the water?
To be honest with you, it went smoother than I anticipated, and a lot of that goes to the planning, the dedication from the Russ Curran, John Roberts, the entire Sharks organization, who they've been planning this for a year now. So logistically, we were ready for this, and I think our scouts have arrived on their ferry, and bringing 125 players, coaches, mascots, interns, broadcasters. Congratulations. Across the island went actually a lot smoother than I anticipated. It was actually impressive. So.
And now that we're here, what are you looking forward to today for the today's game, Home Run Derby and All-Star Game?
Yeah, this is going to be a special day. First of all, we're going to have 40 scouts in attendance. If anybody's been following our summer this season, the talent that we are bringing to the All-Star Game is extraordinary. You are watching future major leaguers. You are watching 50% of the roster will be draft picks maybe. It's an impressive roster. The league's been very deep this year. There's a lot of players that actually are All-Stars themselves that aren't here. So for the players that are here, it's a special opportunity to really showcase themselves and be surrounded by this great atmosphere and by one another. They've been playing against each other, beating each other up all summer, and now they're going to be on the dugout wearing the same uniform, same colors. So to me, it's a special day. It's the best day of the year for the NECBL and for myself, quite frankly.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Our coverage of the NECBL All-Star Game rolls on right here from Martha's Vineyard.
Back at the Shark Tank, I'm here with starting second baseman for the North Division, Quinn McDaniel from the Sanford Mainers. Quinn, you're participating in the Home Run Derby. What's your strategy for that?
Yeah, I'm going to try and pull side, elevate some balls, and try and get it out front.
Mainers have 7 All-Stars, which leads the North Division. It's been an up and down year, but how does it feel to be out here with 6 of your other teammates?
Yeah, it's going to be fun to play with my teammates, and it's a great environment, and I'm excited for it.
And the Mainers, they sit 2 games out of the final wild card spot heading into the final week of the regular season. 2 games in hand on Ocean State, right there in the thick of it.
Yeah, we're going to keep playing our game and try and stay focused and keep having fun, and hopefully we'll get into the push for the playoffs.
Well, that's Quinn McDaniel starting second baseman for the North Division. Coverage continues here from the Shark Tank. Back at the Vineyard, I'm here with North Division manager Mitch Holmes. Mitch, you're only 22 and you have the top record in the NECBL. It's been a pretty good year.
It's been good so far. I think we've been getting lucky here and there, but we've been playing well throughout the summer. We got off to a really good start. And I'm really glad that we're in a good position at this point in the year. So.
heading into the final week of the regular season. You're just 3 games away from breaking the NECBL win record. You see that in the cards?
It's really hard. We got some good teams coming up, and we're obviously everyone's thinner on the end of the year with pitching and stuff. So we're hopeful, but our first goal is to hopefully get the 1 seed in the playoffs, whatever that takes to do. If that's 2 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins, we're just hoping we get the 1 seed. So.
And then finally, you got Game 7 of the Cup coming up against Upper Valley. How are you feeling ahead of that one?
We're hopeful, but for whatever reason, we've been winning a lot, but Upper Valley's 3-3 against us. So they're playing us really well. They're a really good team. I think they've been getting unlucky so far this year, but they're a really good team. We're hopeful. I know our general manager really wants it. Our players are getting really into it. So we hope we can get the last one for the Cup. So we'll see what happens though.
Last manager Mitch Holmes from the North Division. He'll be managing the North Division ahead of today's All-Star Game. Coverage continues here from the Vineyard.
I'm excited right now to be joined by the manager of the Martha's Vineyard Sharks, Jay Mendez, in his 4th year with Martha's Vineyard. What does it mean to have the All-Star Game here at the Shark Tank this summer?
Oh man, this is awesome. Like you said, I've been doing this for 4 years here with the Sharks. So to be able to host it, 1, not have to travel, enjoy the off day, and then 2, to just have everyone here at our ballpark, it's amazing. Can't thank everybody enough for making it out here. So excited to get this day going.
And in your 4th year, what's been some of your favorite parts about getting to manage out here on the island?
Honestly, it's this ballpark. If you look at the atmosphere when we have a crowd in here, it's great. The scenery, you can't beat it. We get a lot of fans that come and support us day in and day out. So I'd say the atmosphere of this ballpark is definitely what I like the most.
Is there someone you're looking forward to watching today, Home Run Derby or All-Star Game, that maybe you don't get to see all that much?
I wouldn't say I'm excited to see anybody else, but I'm excited to see our guys do good. This is what they've been working for the whole year. We talked about this from day 1. Our goal is to make everyone an all-star. That way they can get seen by these scouts. So I'm just excited to see them do well and succeed.
All right, thank you. The NECBL All-Star coverage rolls on here from Martha's Vineyard. I'm joined by Martha's Vineyard right-handed pitcher and from the University of Miami, Alejandro Torres. What does it mean to you to be in this All-Star Game this summer?
I mean, I think this is the cream of the crop of what you could do in the summer. To be able to be selected is an honor to be able to play here with some of my fellow teammates on the Sharks and to play alongside some of the best talent here that the league has to offer. I mean, it's an honor. It's an honor.
8 teammates in total from the Sharks in the All-Star Game. That leads the NECBL. What is that like in getting to play with these guys all summer?
I mean, from when I first got here until now, forget about the fact that they're incredible ball players. They're even better teammates. So the fact that we get to share this experience all together, I'm sure it's something we're going to remember for a long time.
And getting to spend the summer on Martha's Vineyard, how has that experience gone for you?
There's some days I wake up and I still can't believe I'm on an island. I'm sure when I go back home, it's going to be, not as joyful when I wake up in the morning, not to know that I have the beach or walk away from the house. But at the end of the day, I came here to play summer baseball, and I'm getting to play in one of the best leagues out there, and getting to come to the Vineyard is one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
All right, good luck today, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
Our NECBL All-Star Game coverage rolls on from Martha's Vineyard. And with that, welcome to the Shark Tank for the main event, the NECBL All-Star Game on Martha's Vineyard. Introductions underway. Eli Kleinman and Matt Scalzo, glad to be bringing you all the action, all 9 innings of this exciting game. There we are, our center field camera. We're ready for baseball coming up in a little bit as the North All-Stars take on the South All-Stars in what should be a really intriguing matchup with a lot of players that bring a ton of excitement to the field.
Yeah, I'm expecting a very exciting game. These guys are going to do their very best to put on a show. A lot of them are trying to improve their stock in terms of being drafted by a team or getting looks from an MLB team. All the scouts are in front of us, below us, whatever you want to call it. So I'm expecting a good game. There's a lot of excitement around it. Talking to the guys, they're excited. I'm excited. It's going to be a great day for baseball. The only downside is that it is feeling like 100 degrees outside.
It is about as warm as it gets. a toasty day on the island. Overall, the humidity adds to it. 82 degrees, but it feels more like 91 degrees. The waters have been out in force, but baseball will still be played today. It's the North All-Stars doing their introductions, and while they do that, we'll introduce the North All-Stars starting lineup. It starts with Dan Cavino, the shortstop from Keene, and then Colin Wetterau, the catcher, also from Keene. They'll be followed by the Home Run Derby champion Ryan Ignafo, start at third base for Upper Valley. Quinn McDaniel bats clean up, the second baseman from Sanford. Then it's Jackson Ross, the first baseman from Keene. Tom Jostin is the designated hitter tonight from Vermont. Jerry Siracusa plays center field, also a Mountaineer from Vermont, the best team in the NECBL, and make it 3 straight Mountaineers with Evan Fox in left field batting 8th, and Christian Mercedes, the right fielder, will round it out from Winnipesaukee. Who stands out from that lineup to you?
Well, we already touched on the Derby champion and Ryan Ignafo, and I feel like we're kind of required to do it again. He put on a show on the Derby. I'm expecting him to do a strong day as well. Hitting, especially in this game. Also going to keep an eye on probably Jerry Siracusa and Tom Jostin, both Vermont hitters. They've been very strong this year, and two kind of, you look at them and you think they got a future in a way, just on their build. Jostin, I think he's around 6'2", a bigger guy, and then Siracusa is around 6'4" or so, and he's a great two-way guy. I know early in his career he was a pitcher, so those are the 3 guys I'm really going to look at a lot to see what they have. And then also, got to look at the pitchers as well. There's a lot of great pitchers on this north side as well.
Bryce Afton will get the start from Sanford. Bryce Afton. And Brady Afton will be the closer today, both for the Mainers. You hear the similarity in their name. There's a reason behind that. We'll give you the South lineup real quick. It starts with Pete Ufreda, the outfielder from Ocean State. He'll be followed by Jay Harry, the second baseman from Bristol. Then it's Colton Ledbetter, the outfielder from Newport, the runner-up in the Home Run Derby, but the NECBL's leader in home runs with 11. Michael Snyder will be the cleanup hitter, the third baseman from right here on Martha's Vineyard. Kevin Ferrer bats 5th, the outfielder from Mystic. Slade Alford hits 6th, the designated hitter from Newport. Then it's Noah Martinez, the first baseman from Newport. Thomas Bramley, the catcher from Martha's Vineyard, and Chaz Myers, the shortstop from Bristol, rounds out the lineup. The starter for the South team is Tyler Mudd, the left-hander from Ocean State, whose ERA sits below .50. A fantastic season he has had to this point. As the North All-Stars continue to get introduced, that's Evan Fox. On the south side, Colton Ledbetter obviously has to be the standout. Then you have someone like Michael Snyder hitting over 400 on the season, one of just 2 batters in the league to doing something like that. He brings a lot of talent playing at his home ballpark. Who else are you looking forward to watching?
I'm looking at a pair of Bristol guys up the middle, Chaz Myers, Jay Harry. They're both very talented players. I've gotten a chance to see Jay Harry multiple times, being a Penn State student myself and calling a few Penn State baseball games. I've seen him play at shortstop, and he's just such a talented player, quick exchanges, plays against some of the best in the country. Soon to be teammate Thomas Bramley also having quite an excellent year. Michael Snyder, someone I really like to watch when Sanford's played Vineyard a couple times. It's just how quick his exchanges are, and then he just throws a rope right onto first. He's been simply excellent.
Well, Michael Snyder has one of the best arms in the league. He has a great glove. He has a great bat, just one of the overall best players, but that's to no surprise. This is the NECBL All-Star Game. The best players from across the league are here. The coaches today for the North All-Stars, it's the Vermont coaching staff who will take the reins for the South, it is Bristol with their coaching staff, the top two teams in the league, Vermont in the North. Bristol in the South both now currently slated for first-round byes in the playoffs, which start at the beginning of August.
Yeah, both of which have had excellent years, like you said. You know, they're here for a reason. And what's crazy about Mitch Holmes, he's only 22 years old, and he's on pace for what could be the best record in NECBL history. They're 3 wins away from breaking that record. I got a chance to talk with him before the Home Run Derby, and he's just got such a quiet confidence to him that it's just been incredible to see what he's done with this Mountaineer team. That even then you look at their roster and there's no like star-studded power 5, power 6, whatever it is, player. They're all just well-rounded players from other schools, and they just refuse to strike out. They've been excellent. I haven't exactly had a chance to really see Bristol a whole lot. The Mainers played them in their last game, and that was a big win for Sanford. But they've also had an excellent year. Their pitching's been awesome from what I could see.
Well, at the current moment, the South All-Stars being introduced, and Martha's Vineyard Sharks with 8 All-Stars in today's game at home, and they are receiving warm welcomes from the home crowd as the All-Stars continue to get introduced, and Eddie Micheletti gets introduced. As Addison Kopak was running out, we have 2 returners to the All-Star game this year. Both played for Mystic last year. One plays for Martha's Vineyard this year, and one of them right there is Addison Kopak in his 2nd straight All-Star game. The super utility man for the University of Rhode Island, and also huge for what the Mystic Schooners have done this season. The other is Danny Crossan. Last year he was a Schooner. This year he was a Shark for Martha's Vineyard and got in via the fan vote. The Mainers got the other fan vote, and a really cool part of this league is allowing the fans to get to select the final 2 All-Star candidates into the game.
Yeah, and you mentioned Sanford getting the other, Brian Craven. He's just such an excellent person to be around. I've loved every second of the summer getting to share with him as well, along with the rest of the Mainers. You know, Vineyard's got 8, Mainers have 7, which I believe leads the North as well. And it was just an awesome scene in one of our more recent home games before the fan vote closed. We had one of our representatives for the Mainers, Brian Furland. He was out getting signatures from people to vote for Brian into the fan vote. It was just awesome. Craven was having a good laugh with it. His way to describe it was electric. And it was really cool to see just the outpouring support that he got. And it's his 2nd year as well, what the Mainers had last year, and getting his first nod at the All-Star game.
Well, the North today wearing the white uniforms with purple striping. The South will go purple uniforms with white and black striping, and the hats on their heads are their logos, but with an American flag pattern across, and on a black hat for the South All-Stars, it's gray hats for the North All-Stars. As we get close to finishing up introductions, that's Pete Chufreda going down the line. The outfielder, he'll be the leadoff hitter for the South when they come up to bat in the bottom of the 1st. The South All-Star team is the home team this year because the game is being played at Martha's Vineyard, a member of that South Division. And we go back to South and North for likely one of the last couple of times because the NECBL has split into now 3 divisions, the Coastal, the West, and the North, but can't really play games with 3 teams, so we go back to North and South for this NECBL All-Star Clash.
Yeah, you talked about the newly minted Coastal Division, which holds 5 teams, and there's a chance that 3 of them, maybe even 4, get into the playoffs this year. It definitely would be – I'd love to see the idea that would come with trying to split it into 3 divisions for an all-star game. But, going back to the North-South, so you add North Adams and North Shore back to the Northern Division, and then everyone else is in the South. So that's kind of how the split worked out for this year.
It makes sense the way it is. The starting lineup now being introduced with the Sharks starting catcher Thomas Bramley heading out, the newest commit to Penn State, heading back to his home state after playing for Mount St. Mary's, his state school, and he will be headed to Happy Valley as Chaz Myers, all the way from California, is the last man to be introduced in this starting lineup. Before the starting pitcher, Tyler Mudd, what a story he has. What a job he's done to get here and pitch as well as he has this season. The Holy Cross left-hander from Worcester. That's where he grew up and gets to play ball in that hometown. The coaching staff for Bristol heads out. So the umpires are announced, and we're just about ready for the national anthem. The Vineyard Sound are here to bring it to you, and we will be right back for the NECBL All-Star Game. It's the national anthem here at the Shark Tank.
They are presented by Captain Michael Trance, Sergeant Nathan Vieira, and Sergeant Ramon Espino. Please direct your attention down the right field line. Ask that you remove your caps, face the flag, and join Martha's Vineyard's very own, the Vineyard Sound, to perform our national anthem.
Well, we are just about ready for baseball here from Martha's Vineyard. As the honor guard heads off the field. They will meet at home plate. The two managers will meet at home plate, one from Vermont, one for Bristol. And we're just about ready for some baseball on this toasty summer afternoon on Martha's Vineyard. It's an island, but it certainly is hot out here in the Northeast. They'll meet. We will take a quick break and be right back. It's the NECBL All-Star Game, and it starts right after this.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out. At this time, we want to give the Home Run Derby winner his trophy, his hardware. Ryan Ignafo from Eastern Illinois plays for Winnipesaukee Swampbacks. Upper Valley Nighthawks, sorry. Presented by Sean McGrath, the commissioner. Okay, we have a first pitch today. First pitch is going to be thrown up by Mason Morgan. If you bought an All-Star hat, you see the Morgan Group on the side. The Morgan Group was a sponsor of our All-Star hats this year, and it's their future shock coming out to throw it out.
Tony.
Good job, Mason. I want to thank everyone for coming out. Hope you enjoy the day. Play ball.
The South All-Stars have taken the field, and now we are just moments away from getting going in this NECBL All-Star game. We'll give you the defensive alignment for the South All-Stars. It's Pete Chufreda in left field, Colton Ledbetter takes up center, and Kevin Ferrer is playing right field. On the infield, left side at Snyder at third, Myers at short, right side Harry at second, and Martinez at first. Behind the plate is Thomas Bramley. The designated hitter is Slade Alford, and the pitcher is Tyler Mudd. We are ready to get the game itself underway. We had an exciting home run derby. The two top home run hitters battled it out, and Ryan Ignoffo got his home run derby trophy just moments ago. Now he will be coming up to face Tyler Mudd. Not as easy as batting practice, but Ignoffo has made a lot look easy this summer.
And someone else who's made things look pretty easy is Tyler Mudd. There's a reason he is starting this game. That ERA at 0.32. He's 2-0 in 5 games started. And it's incredible to see the spring he had of an ERA over 8 with Holy Cross to where he is now starting the NECBL All-Star game.
Well, we are ready to go. Tyler Mudd on the mound. He'll face Dan Covino, the shortstop from Keene, to get things going. Mudd quick to work. First pitch skips in, a ball and no strikes, and we're underway from Martha's Vineyard in the NECBL All-Star game. 1-0. Off the outside, 2 balls, no strikes, and Mudd falls behind Covino. They get 3-0 to begin the game. And there, Mudd fires the first strike of the day into the shortstop.
Yeah, Covino's had a good year with Keene, 250 average.
Well, he draws a 5-pitch walk, and that's how the ball game gets underway. The plan for the South All-Stars is for every pitcher to go 1 inning. And with that, Stephen Quigley, the right-hander for Martha's Vineyard, is already getting warm in the bullpen. But first, that brings up Colin Wetterau, the catcher, also from Keene. And it's a strike to begin this at-bat.
Yeah, much better start there for Mudd. A little bit of nerves maybe for that first batter, but you got to settle in quickly here.
On the first swing of the day, and Wetterau taps it softly back.
Yeah, Wetterau's got a 257 average, has a home run. He's had a few good games, including a 3-for-4 game against Upper Valley last week.
Chops one to second. Harry thought about going to second, instead throws on to first in time to get Wetterau. First out of the game recorded And over to second moves Covino.
First baseman from the Upper Valley Nighthawks in Eastern Illinois University, number 7, Ryan Ignapo.
That ball just chopped too much for Harry to have a play at the double play, and it brings Ryan Ignapo to the plate. The matchup everyone wants to see, one of the top hitters in the league versus arguably the top pitcher on the mound. And Ignapo takes a big cut at that one, comes up with nothing. Ryan Ignapo, the Eastern Illinois product, college many might have heard of. 0-1 home, runs off the inside, a ball and a strike. It's the college of Tony Romo, a quarterback turned broadcaster, and Jimmy Garoppolo, current 49ers quarterback, although who knows where his future lies. Ignapo chops it foul down the left field line, and he's behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
I always forget that Tony Romo went there. I knew Jimmy Garoppolo went there. I was getting ready to mention it, but you beat me to the punch there.
School that produces some really good athletes, and Ryan Ignapo can put his name there as he drives one to left, just like the home run derby. It is off the wall. Around third and in to score comes Covino. Over to second goes Ryan Ignapo. He can't get it out, but he gets the North All-Stars on the board. They lead it 1-0 here in the top of the first.
Yeah, that's the exact start you want to have, Ignapo. Find a way to put that power on display, and just coming up a few inches short there, Chufreda goes crashing into the wall. He seems to be all right. It's always good to see, though, for a fielder with such a big collision.
Brings Quinn McDaniel to the plate, just off the outside. Ignapo in his home run derby championship run of sorts peppered the trees out and left, and that one had a similar arc as McDaniel lifts one into center. Ledbetter is there to make the grab for out number 2. So in a battle between, like we mentioned, one of the best hitters versus one of the best pitchers in the NECBL, it's hitters 1, pitchers 0, and just the top of the first inning, and we'll have plenty more of that to come.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see how it all shakes out in terms of pitchers versus hitters. But for summer ball, I've found that early on, pitchers really dominate, and then hitters start to turn it on late.
Breaking ball in for a strike to Ross, the keen first baseman from FAU, Florida Atlantic University. Takes another strike, and Mudd 1 strike away from getting out of the top of the first, just allowing the 1 run. Well, the hitters, you mentioned that longer adjustment period. They have to go from the metal bats, the BB core bats, to the wood bats they use in summer, and Ross just gets a piece of it to stay alive.
Yeah, and Ross is someone who's had a good year. His brother Michael actually pitches for Keene, and I always love to see when Michael pitches, you always find Jackson out in the field, something to really, have a nice brother connection, maybe ease the nerves.
0-2 off the inside. It's 1-2 the count. It's always fun to play with family. It's a cool connection you get to have. 1-2, another chopper to the right side. Harry, the second baseman, fields, slings it over to first. In time, inning over. But the North gets on the board. It's a Ryan Ignapo RBI double. 1 hit, 1 run, and a 1-0 lead. It's the South All-Stars coming to bat. They'll face Bryce Afton when we return here at the NECBL All-Star Game on Martha's Vineyard.
Whether you're an island resident, visiting, or just here fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information.
And welcome back to the Shark Tank for the bottom of the first. It's the South All-Stars coming up. Pete Giuffreda, Jay Harry, and Colton Ledbetter, top three in the order. Here's the defensive alignment for the North All-Stars. It's Fox in left, Siracusa in center, and Mercedes in right. Ignafo at third, Covino at shore. The left side of the infield teamed up to score the first run of the day. McDaniel at second, Ross at first, Wetterow is behind the plate, and Bryce Aftam is the starting pitcher.
Yeah, and from the Mainers, I've seen him a lot this year. He's made 8 appearances, 6 starts. He's quickly become the ace for the Mainers. Doesn't have the fastest and highest velocity, but he locates his pitches well. Has a fastball with a couple breaking balls and an off speed.
He'll face the lefty Giuffreda to get us started. And it misses off the outside. 1-0 the count. Giuffreda, a ton of power from that left side. Plays for Lafayette College in Pennsylvania. 2-0 the count.
And for pitchers, you're under such a microscope with only that 1 inning of work that you got to make every pitch count.
Gets a pop-up on the 2-0. Into shallow center ranges Covino, still ranging out, and the ball lands in center field. Around first and into second slides Giuffreda. And Covino, a bit too lackadaisical on that pop-up, allows Giuffreda to reach as the leadoff runner at second with nobody out in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, that's especially tough for a pitcher. When you go up 2-0, you force that pop-out, and then you know, the defense doesn't do its job. It's tough, but both Bryce and Dan Covino both got to find ways to just put it quickly behind them.
So it brings Jay Harry up with a chance for the South All-Stars to tie the game almost immediately. It was the North victorious last year, 6-2. South looking for a little revenge. And Harry pops one up right side of the infield. It's Ross who calls for it. Drifting into foul territory, he makes the catch. One away. But things don't get any easier for Bryce Aftam, now facing arguably the best hitter in the NECBL.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for pitchers the entire day. There's a reason all these guys are here. They're the best in their divisions, best in their positions. So it's going to be tough sledding the whole way around, really.
Colton Ledbetter, runner-up in the home run derby. But him and Ryan Ignafo, the two best hitters in the league this summer. And he takes a big cut and comes up. Just a foul tip into the glove of Wetterow. No balls and a strike.
Third lefty in a row to start for the South.
Well, we've seen what lefties can do. Saw it in the home run derby. Wind blowing out to right. Ledbetter checks his swing but taps it back to the screen. Quickly behind 0-2. We now have a nice cloud cover above the Shark Tank after the sun was out for much of the morning and into the afternoon. The Newport goal at the plate and the 0-2 outside. Ball and 2 strikes. Ledbetter heading from Sanford to Mississippi State. Played for his hometown school in Hoover, Alabama. And what a season he has had. Lifts one into shallow center. Outranges McDaniel. He's still going out. It falls in center field. Over to third, jogs Chufreda. Ledbetter at first with a single, and there's runners at the corners in the bottom of the first. 2 bloops into center. Both have fallen, and it brings Michael Snyder to the plate.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Bryce is he won't strike loads of batters out. He's not a power pitcher, but he creates that favorable contact that lets your defense make plays. Here he just hasn't had the opportunity. Well, he's created the opportunities. It's just, they're put in places where it creates a Bermuda triangle between short, second, and out in center field.
Snyder hitting .398 on the summer. Plays right here at the Shark Tank for Martha's Vineyard. But a long way from home. So he takes a first pitch strike. Originally from the Southern California area, but plays college up at Washington. One of 2 Huskies in this game, along with A.J. Guerrero from Valley. Afton throws over to first. Diving back safely is Ledbetter. So 2 bloops. Both have fallen into shallow center, and the South trying to respond in the bottom of the first. Snyder swings, lines one into right field. It's the base hit that the South was looking for. It will tie the game. Over to second moves Ledbetter, and we're even at 1 in just 1 inning of play.
From the Mystic Schooners in the University of Connecticut, number 23, Kevin Farrer.
And if you think about it, really, with those 2 pop flies that potentially could have been caught, you really think about it, this was a 1-2-3 inning for Bryce Afton, but here he still has to deal with trouble with now the base hit from Snyder.
So Kevin Ferrer to the plate. The Mystic Schooner and Yukon Husky takes a breaking ball outside for a ball. 3 hits in the inning. That leadoff hit ruled a double. Since then, Ledbetter and Snyder have reached on singles. Ferrer looks to keep the line moving. Watches a fastball up and in. 2-0. Pitch home. Ferrer lines one to left. Racing in is the left fielder. Fox dives and makes the grab. What a huge play. Defense showing out in the NECBL All-Star game. There's 2 away.
Heading to the plate, your designated hitter.
And, it just seems routine that Evan Fox will make a diving grab almost every game from what I've seen. When the Mainers headed up to Montpelier for a doubleheader, both games he just made some ridiculous catches out in left field. So seeing that again is just, it seems like another day for Evan Fox.
Brings the Mississippi State Bulldogs Slate Alford to the plate. Also a Newport goal. He attacks the first pitch and fouls it back. Slate Alford headed up to Martha's Vineyard early in the summer. First game here. He found the place very comfortable. 2 home runs in a 17-1 win favoring the Gulls. He'll be back on Tuesday as Newport faces off here against Martha's Vineyard in a battle atop the Coastal Division. Swing and a miss at the 0-1. Quickly behind in the count. Alford, the Alabama native, 1 point committed to Auburn, but decided to head to Mississippi State instead. 0-2, well inside, runner on the move. Ledbetter dives in safely. The throw gets away from the third baseman Ignafo, but not far enough to allow Ledbetter to score. But runners move over to second and third with 2 away in this bottom of the first.
Yeah, it was a good jump for Ledbetter over from second to third, and then the throw just a little low, and it was going to be a tough play for Ignafo to even just apply the tag, let alone keep it in front of him.
So Alford stands in. Mentioned the 2 home runs he's had here, 2 of his 6 on the summer. 1-2, swing and a miss. Bryce Afton gets the strikeout and strands 2 in scoring position, but the South tie it up with an RBI single by the hometown hero, Michael Snyder. We head to the second in the NECBL All-Star Game. North 1, South 1 on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
It's $1 for 1 ticket, $5 for 5, an arm's length for 10, or a wingspan for $20. First place wins half the pot. Don't miss out. Make sure to buy some tickets.
Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League. The New England League is the most competitive brand of amateur wooden bat summer baseball in the country. With 14 teams located in all 6 New England states and over 150 Major League Baseball alumni, the league entertains our region for 2 months every summer. Student athletes from all over the country descend upon the region's most scenic communities to offer summer baseball at its finest. Now celebrating over a quarter of a century of excellence, the New England League continues to transcend communities and give the best student athletes from across the country a chance at their dream. For current team information, rosters, and schedules, visit NECBL.com. The New England League. Keep your eye on the dream. Zephyr is the official on-field cap of the NECBL. Also known as the Z-Hats, Zephyr is the authentic college hat with a loyal following of those who only wear the Z. Zephyr makes hats for over 800 colleges and channels that same energy and creativity into building custom hats of all types for pro sports teams, clothing brands, and companies everywhere. Make sure you pick up your Newport Gulls official on-field cap today.
Top of the second here at the Shark Tank. The NECBL All-Star Game. It's the North 1 and the South 1. And we have a new pitcher, as we will every inning. It's Stephen Quigley, the Sharks' right-hander, on the mound. Heading to Yukon this upcoming fall. First pitch home outside. Tom Jostin at the plate. Designated hitter in today's game and a called strike. 1-1.
Yeah, and I remember Jostin from the third time Vermont came to Goodall Park, and first inning just launches one into the trees down the right field line. It was a real tone setter.
Takes a lot sometimes to get it into the trees out there. Despite it being the shortest part of that park up in Sanford, it is one of the bigger ballparks in this league.
What's crazy, the game ended 2-1. So as much as you'd think that means offense, it did not end that way.
Count 3 balls and a strike. Tyler Mudd walked the leadoff batter, Dan Cavino, in the first. He would come around to score. Quigley fires in a strike and runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Quigley, the former two-way player out Wheaton, now putting his entire focus on pitching, a shortstop and a pitcher. And really good at both for the D3 program. 3-2, called strike 3 on the inside corner. Perfect location from Quigley. He gets his first strikeout of the All-Star game, one away.
And he just painted that inside corner a couple times against Jostin. And both times he wasn't sure really how to respond to it, whether he thought it was a ball or a strike, but both times doesn't swing, both times resulting in a strike.
First pitch home to Jerry Siracusa, the Vermont center fielder. This is inside with the slider. And a swing and a miss. When Quigley is right, you have the fastball, which has a nice little bite to it, low 90s, and then a sharp slider just runs away from right-handers.
And there you see that pitch again. You know, it's always good for a pitcher to have such a hard-breaking pitch that they can trust, like a slider, especially when you have a hard-throwing fastball.
Quigley falls behind again, 3-1 the count. It's 3 straight Mountaineers up this inning. As Quigley responds again, and the count runs full for the second straight batter. On deck is Evan Fox, typically the leadoff man for Vermont, but today hitting in the 8-hole. 3-2, swing and a miss. Quigley picks up his second straight strikeout. And in an All-Star game, when you only work one inning, it's hard to do much better than how he started off.
Yeah, this is exactly the start you want to have if you're a pitcher. I didn't get a chance to mention, one of my favorite things about Jerry Siracusa is he actually played for the Mainers in 2019, but was a pitcher.
That's versatility right there.
I was talking with manager Nick Lops because, you know, he saw Jerry on the ferry over, and he said, you know, he came in, he's like, oh, I'm a two-way guy, but my coach wants me to work on my pitching. And, you know, he threw like mid-80s, and then he could bump it up to like low 90s, and it's always just like, whoa. But towards the end of the year, they gave him a shot out in left field, and he went like 2 for 4, and they're like, we should have been doing this the entire time.
Well, he's an all-star in the NECBL this summer as a hitter. So apparently right, the count is 2 balls and a strike to Evan Fox, one of the fastest players in the NECBL. 21 stolen bases this summer. So he lifts one in the air, foul territory left field side. Michael Snyder, the third baseman, over there, reaches behind his head and makes the catch. A place he feels comfortable. The Martha's Vineyard Shark helps out his pitcher, and Quigley puts the North away. 1-2-3 in the second. Exactly what he was looking for. We'll head to the bottom half of the inning. The North All-Stars won, the South All-Stars won on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Fans, the NECBL's Broadcast Network brings all of the action right to your home every night. Available on your desktop, laptop, mobile device, as well as your Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Android TV device. Enjoy single-day passes for just $8, purchase a weekly subscription for $20, a monthly pass for $40, or an all-season pass for $80. Head to watch.necbl.com for more information and for a full streaming schedule. Whether you're an island resident or just visiting, the fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information.
Bottom of the second from the NECBL All-Star Game. It's 1-1 as we play into the bottom of the second. Brendan McFall takes over on the mound, the Vermont right-hander who also pitches for Tufts, and he will face 7, 8, 9, Noah Martinez, Thomas Bramley, and then Chaz Myers. Usually when you think of 7, 8, 9, you think of maybe a part of the lineup that's a little bit easier to face, although all these hitters in this league really good, but not today when you have to face the All-Star team.
No, and especially not when you face big Noah Martinez for your first batter. He's just a giant left-handed hitter for Newport. And then you got Bramley, who's been excellent this year for Vineyard, along with Chaz Myers, who's, you know, for someone who's batting, I think, over 300 for Chaz Myers, that's his place, is that 9 spot. What Tim Binkowski likes to do with Bristol is play him in that 9 spot, so it really just, you know, you can't work around that bottom of the order and try and, like, even up, you know, put your pitcher in a clean inning against the bottom of the order. Well, you still got to deal with Chaz Myers, which is what they try and do. So, you know, like you said, there's no easy hitter in these lineups today.
Starts with the Newport goal. You mentioned Noah Martinez, Central Connecticut State product. Takes a deep breath before he stands in. Such a cool opportunity for all these guys to play in this All-Star game. He'll face McFall to start. Bit of a shift for Martinez to begin the second. It's outside, 1-0. McFall with that light blue glove works his windup and fires in a breaking ball for a strike.
That fastball from him earlier during warm-ups comes in at 90-ish miles an hour. And then that breaking pitch, 68, that's a 22-mile-an-hour difference between pitches.
1-1, taken inside with changeup. 2 balls and a strike. That one's 68 miles an hour, so the off-speed a lot slower for McFall, who is a member of the Tough Jumbos baseball team. Jumbo is the nickname for all of Tufts athletics. 2-1 to Martinez and a big swing and a miss. That one 88 miles an hour. Jumbo is an elephant, and actually a former live elephant back in the early 1900s. Was the biggest at the time when it was alive. Apparently it's been surpassed. 12 feet tall, weighing more than 6 tons. 2-2 is just outside. No swing on the appeal to third. McFall thought it was a strikeout, but apparently the umpires disagree.
Yeah, it's a close borderline pitch for McFall to not have go his way, but also great patience from Martinez. Sometimes it's those gray area pitches that are really hard to focus on.
3-2. Martinez lifts one high in the air into shallow right center. Long run for the center fielder, but Siracusa able to get over into the gap to make the grab, 1 away.
Next up from Martha's Vineyard Sharks, the catcher number 25, Thomas Bradley.
For a long time, though, going back to Tufts and Jumbos, Jumbo was actually, after he passed away, put at the school and touch it for good luck. For all things you needed, good luck, as Thomas Bramley, the catcher, newest member of Penn State, steps up. Considered good luck. That's where the nickname comes from for Tufts. And the students nicknamed the Little Jumbos, which seems like somewhat of an oxymoron.
A little bit. It's interesting. I have a friend who goes to Tufts, plays baseball.
Just 2 words with complete opposite meaning. It's the 0-1 downstairs, but in fairness, no member of the school is going to be 12 feet tall, you would think, or 6 tons.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty hard to beat that for a student.
1-1 to Bramley, chop foul. Member of the Sharks is the catcher. Starting catcher in this game, hitting over 300. He's headed to Penn State after playing 4 years at Mount St. Mary's. This past season, he had 11 home runs for the Mount. One-two misses well up and away. Counts to 2-2.
Yeah, I know head coach Rob Cooper is going to enjoy getting his bat in the lineup after the Nittany Lions lost Matt Wood to the MLB draft, drafted in the 4th round by the Brewers.
2-2's rope foul down the right field line. Well, Bramley, a really good catcher, but can also play much more than just catcher. Played about half a season at Mount St. Mary's as the third baseman, and we've seen him this summer in left a few times. In an era where versatility is so important, Bramley provides that. Two, and fouled away. Bramley stays alive. This summer, Bramley hitting .328. Just a pair of home runs, but the 10 RBIs, and no swing of the bat was bigger than the grand slam he hit against Ocean State. He'll put the Sharks up for good in that one in the 9th inning as he pops one up third base side. A long chase for Ignoffo. He goes into a dive, but comes up just short. And Bramley's getting his money worth in this All-Star game.
Yeah, he's working in this at-bat against McFall, who's been one of the best relievers in the entire league. Out of the bullpen, he's got an ERA of under .5, not as low as Tyler Mudd at .45. That's his ERA. He's just been exceptional for the Mountaineers. And Bramley, he's doing a good job, not going down easy. He knows the importance of every at-bat in this game.
Let's try another 2-2, and Bramley sends one high in the air to right. Mercedes is back, and the Martha's Vineyard Shark sends one out, and the South Division takes a 2-1 lead on the solo blast from Thomas Bramley. How about that? Lifting one under that short right field porch. And it's the South with their first lead of the day.
Next up, the shortstop from the Bristol Blues and Pacific University, number 5, Chaz Myers.
Giving the hometown crowd something to cheer for.
Yeah, both hometown players doing their job. Snyder with the RBI in the first, and now Bramley with that solo shot here in the second.
Don't forget about Stephen Quigley's 1-2-3 inning in the top of the second. On the mound, one of 8 Sharks in this game. Just mentioned 3 of them. 5 more to come. Chaz Myers steps up. Playing shortstop, the Bristol Blue. Lines one towards right center. Mercedes is over, and he overruns the baseball, and it gets by him and rolls to the wall. Myers around second. He'll hold there. The ball trickles away and rolls all the way to the third baseman, Ignoffo. But another defensive mistake by the North All-Stars puts a runner on second with a 1-out double.
Yeah, and that'll be an error against Mercedes. He just overran it. He's someone that has plenty of speed. I don't know if that ball just deceived him. The wind's definitely been, picking up. I can tell by the umbrellas over in the beer garden in right center and just by the trees. It's definitely moving a lot, but that one for Mercedes just overrunning it, like you said. It's tough for an outfielder.
Brings Pete Giuffreda back to the plate. The lefty watches one inside. 1-0 the count. South looking to open up this lead. They took the lead on the solo shot by Thomas Bramley earlier in the inning, and Chaz Myers slapped one to right and reached second on the error by Christian Mercedes. Giuffreda sends one high in the air down the left field line. Long run for Fox, and he won't get there. So a bit of trouble for McFall here in inning number 2. Giuffreda, 5 home runs on the summer, had 5 all season for Lafayette. So 1-1 off the outside. In 20 less games, he already is at 5. That average back above 300. And he just holds up on the breaking ball inside. 3-1 the count. After Giuffreda is Jay Harry, the Bristol Blue. Giuffreda takes a hearty cut at the 3-1 and taps it foul. His coach and manager, Coach H-Bod, Hirschbein Bodner, is the third base coach. He is the head coach of the Ocean State Waves, not the Bristol Blues, but getting the task over there. Giving words of encouragement to his star outfielder. 3-2, lifted in the air, down the left field line. It gets down in front of Fox. He slips in left, around and in to score comes Myers. The South doubles its advantage. It's 3-1 in the bottom of the second.
Next up for the South All-Stars, from the Bristol Blues, Penn State University, number 1, Jay
That's just a good piece of hitting by Giuffreda. Does nice job fouling some pitches off, staying patient on those breaking balls that work inside to lefties, and then he's able to push one the other way, driving another run. You know, as much as baseball is a team game, today is really just a big day for every individual player in trying to do their best in each at-bat, trying to put on a show for all the scouts in attendance.
Scouts, fans, entire league, but absolutely with a lot of scouts in attendance. So Giuffreda over at first. Harry sends one into center. Plenty of room for Siracusa, and he takes a few steps back to make the grab. Quickly 2 retired, but it brings back up Colton Ledbetter, the center fielder
from the Newport
and talented hitter.
Stanford University, number 10, Colton Ledbetter.
Yeah, Ledbetter with that single. No, 2 of those 3 hits in the first inning, all a little unorthodox for the South team. High pop-up out in the center field that just creates a no-man's land.
Late steal from Giuffreda, the throw down to second. Not in time. He slides in safely. Wetero not able to nail the left fielder for the South All-Star team. So runner back in scoring position. Giuffreda coming in had 9 stolen bases and was caught stealing 5 times. But that time he picks up the stolen base and a fist bump to boot. Ledbetter rolls one down the first baseline and foul. Count 0-2.
You should try to tell him through text to change the shot or something. All right.
So McFall a strike away from getting out of the second. A pop-up, third base side, ranging out, Ignafo reaches out, it drops in left field for a base hit. It brings home Giuffreda, 3 runs across in the inning. Another bloop single for Colton Ledbetter, and he puts the South All-Stars ahead 3-1 or 4-1 here in the second.
They're just finding the gaps in this defense. It's a long run for Evan Fox, no matter his speed. out in left field. And Ignafo, that's just a tough play. You know, you're ranging back, looking over your shoulder, trying to make that basket grab. But Ledbetter just, you know, doing his thing.
Brings back Michael Snyder, the Martha's Vineyard Shark and Washington Husky. And he takes the pitch for a strike. Snyder got hot at the end of the season for Washington, part of 12 straight wins going into a Pac-12 tournament. And he did so by hitting .350 over the final month in May. He's hitting .230 coming into the month. Finished the season hitting .282. And he is hit there. One of the top in the league of being hit by pitches, and Snyder gets drilled in the All-Star game. It'll move Ledbetter over to second and bring Kevin Ferrer up to the plate. The Schooner and Yukon Husky was robbed of a hit back in the first. A diving play by Evan Fox in left.
Yeah, it's for Ferrer, that diving grab. I mean, if he doesn't make it, who knows what kind of damage is done by the South. You know, you're looking at it, it's a 4-1 game. They've scored 3 already. You see a conversation between the pitching coach from Vermont and McFall to try and just ease his pitcher a bit. He's been one of the best in the NECBL this season, and now going up against the best of the best, he's been outmatched so far.
Some of it not his fault. There was the error in right, and then you have the bloop single by Ledbetter, and really not much more than a bloop by Chufreda either. He did give up the home run to Thomas Bramley. That he did, as Ferrer chops one foul. And had that ball stayed fair, it might have been another softly hit base hit.
Yeah, and with the grass here across the entire infield, you know, some of those balls that with the side spin that roll foul on dirt fields, here you won't necessarily get that with the thicker grass holding on to it.
South in front early. Bottom of the second, they lead 4-1. 3 runs across here in this second inning. Ferrer pops one foul. Again, McFall a strike away from getting out of the second. Last time the South All-Stars won this All-Star game was 2018. Game was canceled early in 2019, COVID in 2020. Ferrer takes outside, 1-2. And in the first year back, 2021, it was North winning by a score of 6-2. That was last year down in Newport at Cardines Field. 1-2 pitch to Ferrer, and it's outside again, a breaking ball.
Yeah, back-to-back years in the Coastal Division for the All-Star game, and I think it continues next year at North Shore.
That would be up at Frazier Field in Lynn, Massachusetts, just north of Boston. 2-2. Ferrer grounds one sharply, but McDaniel able to spear it. Spinning, what a play to end the inning. McDaniel flashes the leather, but the South All-Stars strike for 3, and they lead 4-1 as we head to the third inning at the Shark Tank. It's the NECBL All-Star Game on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Today's Korean post-game meals are provided by Winston. number 36, Logan McGuire.
Back at the Shark Tank, top of the third inning. It's a 4-1 lead for the South. They just scored 3 runs in the bottom of the second, and now there's a new pitcher on the mound, as there will be in every inning. Logan McGuire of the Newport Gulls out of Georgia Tech stepping on for the third inning, and he'll face 9-1-2 in this North lineup, starting with Christian Mercedes, Matt Scalzo, Eli Kleinman. Eli, what can you tell me about the right-hander for Newport?
He's from Georgia Tech, but via Newport, 1.93 ERA. But what stands out the most is his 42 strikeouts in 28 innings of work. He is a guy who strikes out a lot of hitters. But today, obviously, it becomes a little bit more challenging facing the best of the North.
It starts with Christian Mercedes of Winnipesaukee, and a swing and a miss on the first pitch, 0-1. Mercedes out of Southern New Hampshire. They had quite the season, the Panmen. He's had 4 home runs, 11 RBIs with an average just under 300. Plenty of speed. 0-1, he takes a fastball right down the middle. 0-2. 18 for 23 on stolen bases for the right fielder today. Primarily center fielder for the Muskrats. 0-2. Lines it back up the middle. And there's a base hit for the North. The leadoff man is on in Christian Mercedes.
Well, it certainly feels like the offense has been getting the best of the pitching for most of the day. Outside of the 1-2-3 inning, in the top of the second, we've had runs scored in the other 3 half innings.
So that'll bring up the top of the order for the North, and Dan Cavino reached on a walk his last time up, eventually came in to score on the RBI double from Ryan Ignafo. He takes ball 1 outside. So Mercedes over at first. We might see him dart for second with Thomas Bramley behind the plate. And there he goes. Bramley comes up firing. The throw down is on the money. Chaz Myers with a beautiful tag, and Mercedes goes down caught stealing, and that's the first out in the top of the third. So now 2-0 to Cavino, and there's no one on the bases here for the North. 3-0 as he takes another one upstairs. Hearing from the North dugout, no way you can walk twice. We'll see what happens here as McGuire deals the 3-0. And that paints the outside corner, 3-1. Cavino stayed patient in his first at-bat. Worked a 5-pitch walk. We'll see what happens on this 3-1. McGuire kicks and deals, and Cavino pops it foul, so the count runs full.
Well, here's a chance for McGuire to get one of those strikeouts, that something he does quite regularly for Newport.
Has only allowed 6 walks on the year for the Gulls. Here's the payoff. And Cavino able to work another walk. He stays patient once again and heads on down to first for the second time on a free pass.
Next, the catcher, number 17 from the Keene Swamp Bats in St. John's University.
So another runner on here for the North. Mercedes was already caught stealing to start this inning. Maybe the North won't be so aggressive against Thomas Bramley this time round. First pitch to Colin Waterow, taken upstairs for ball 1. The catcher grounded out to Jay Harry at second base, his first time up. One-0 swing and a miss on the fastball from McGuire. North chasing 3 runs here to the south. And as they scored 3 in the bottom of the second, facing Brendan McFall from Vermont. Throw over to first, and Covino sidesteps his way back. The solo home run from Bramley, the RBI from Chufreda and Ledbetter, both of which were singles. The 1-1. Swing and a miss again from Wetterow, 1-2. Ryan Ignafo is the one that stands on deck. He was inches from a 2-run home run in the top of the first inning. Here's the 1-2 from McGuire. Swing and a miss. Wetterow down by way of the K. First strikeout for McGuire and the second out in the top of the third.
Well, there's the strikeout he was looking for, but now we get to watch this guy again, and it's just so much fun to watch Ryan Ignafo hit the baseball. Everything is hard off the bat. He doesn't just do it by hitting it over the fence. He does it constantly, hitting well above 300, and at one point was hitting over 400 and leading the league at home runs.
Such a talented hitter. 27 combined home runs in 2 rounds of the Home Run Derby. Almost made it 28 with his first at-bat here as Covino goes. A chopper back to McGuire, flips to first in time, and ends the inning. So Covino stranded on the bases. It's still a 4-1 lead for the South as we'll head in to the bottom of the third on the NECBL Broadcast Network for the 2022 All-Star Game.
Whether you're an island resident or just visiting, the fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information.
Back for the bottom of the third inning, a new pitcher once again on the mound, Grant Besser, the left-hander. And if Keene steps onto the bump, and a new catcher behind the plate, Adam Dapkowitz from the Sanford Mainers, replaces Colin Wetterow. First pitch from Besser. Off speed, down in the dirt. 1-0. He faces Slade Alford, Noah Martinez, and Thomas Bramley. As Alfred hits one on the ground, Covino fields. Throws on to first in time for the first out.
Heading to the plate from the Newport Gulls in Central Connecticut State University.
So that'll bring up Noah Martinez. Flew out to center. Grant Besser was at Florida Southwestern State, but is now transferring to Piscataway to become a member of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And a beautiful breaking pitch from the southpaw. Breaks it in over the plate for strike one. That one was heading in towards Martinez. Here's the 0-1 fastball. Bouncer. Backhanded by McDaniel. Throw on the run. Oh, what a play. Quinn McDaniel flashing the leather for the second time today. First, the spinning throw to end the second inning, and now that one to record the second out here in the bottom of the third.
He's a lot of fun to watch out there on the infield. Can cover a lot of ground. A really good arm. Hey, he's here for a reason, and he can hit. Don't let it confuse you. He's here for that bat as well, but getting to flash the leather a little bit early is, well, there goes a ball from the bullpen.
7 home runs for McDaniel in the home run derby. You know, you look at his stature, you wouldn't expect it, but he's got quite the pop off his bat. There's that breaking ball again from Besser, 73 miles an hour, high looping. Finds the middle part of the zone, 0-1. Same pitch, same result, 0-2 here to Bramley.
My goodness.
North trying to work their first 1-2-3 inning, and Besser's putting on a show. The 0-2. That bounces in the dirt. Good block by Dapkwitz behind the plate. 1-2. One-two breaking ball. Bramley able to lay off it. Count moves to 2-2. And Bramley will step out as looks like another ball comes from the bullpen. Someone from the north letting them know that's the second time. He's playing a little fun. The 2-2. Bramley chops it behind, keeps the count where it is.
Bramley did this exact same thing in his first at-bat. He battled and battled and battled and then found the pitch he wanted and hit a home run.
Continues to do so. A check defensive swing, fouls it back. Keeps the count as is, 2-2 with 2 outs. Besser looks in, he's got his sign. And Bramley drives it again down the right field line, and it is off the foul pole. Bramley goes deep again. Have yourself a day. 2 solo home runs, and it's 5-1 South.
My goodness, well, that's just what he does apparently in all-star games. Battle till he finds his pitch, and that short right field porch, not part of the home run derby, but putting on a home run derby instead on in the all-star game.
Maybe he should have been a part of it. But, you know, Ben Nardi for Vineyard, he put on a show, 11 home runs for him, just 1 short of Ledbetter. As now Chaz Myers comes up to bat. First pitch from Besser misses outside for ball 1. Besser wastes no time in between pitches. He's already set and ready to go. Here's the 1-0, and Myers fouls it sharply back into the netting. It's 1-1. One well outside. Dapkwitz snags it behind. You know, funny story about Adam Dapkwitz for the Mainers. Whenever he makes like a really good, like one of those quick reflex kind of play, he likes to do some Spider-Man web shooters. 2-1 swing and a miss from Myers. 2-2, so, you know. He was telling me that I always got to include it when I find a chance to. He calls them his Spider-Man plays.
Is he a big Marvel guy?
I think so. He might just be a big Spider-Man guy. He's one of the more lively characters on the Mainers staff as the 2-2. Foul tip into the glove of Dapkwitz, and Myers goes down on strikes to end the inning. 1 hit allowed by Besser, but a solo home run from Bramley extends the lead for the Southern All-Stars. They take a 5-1 lead heading into the top of the 4th here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Zephyr is the official on-field cap of the NECBL. Also known as the Z-Hats, Zephyr is the authentic college hat with a loyal following of those who only wear the Z. Zephyr makes hats for over 800 colleges and channels that same energy and creativity into building custom hats of all types for pro sports teams, clothing brands, and companies everywhere. Make sure you pick up your Newport Gulls official on-field cap today.
Back on the Vineyard, it's a 5-1 lead now for the Southern Division All-Stars. Thomas Bramley, his day may be done, but what a show he put on. 2 for 2 with a pair of solo home runs for the Shark.
I think you would have to say he's an early favorite for All-Star Game MVP. After that performance, he only gets to play 3 innings, barely gets 2 at-bats, and, well, 2 home runs to right field. It doesn't get much better than that, and the 3 pitchers he worked with, only 1 run allowed. So certainly an excellent day for the newest member of Penn State.
Definitely a great day for them. The Nittany Lions definitely going to be excited, as will Jay Harry, soon to be his teammate, probably pretty pumped up in the dugout. And we have a new pitcher on the mound, Nick Conti from Ocean State, the right-hander out of Duke. He's going to be throwing to his summer teammate and Chase Meggers, who enters in behind the plate for the Southern Division. Starting to see maybe a few substitutions as we enter into the 4th inning. No substitution so far here in this spot for the North, only the 2nd time through the order. And it leads off with Quinn McDaniel, the 2nd baseman out of Sanford. Had a stellar year for the University of Maine. First team All-New England for the Black Bears. 0 for 1 so far. With a fly out to center field. First time facing Conti all year. Righty on righty matchup. He kicks and deals. McDaniel swings and fouls the first pitch back into the netting. 0-1.
96 miles an hour, and Conti's a guy who touches the upper 90s with his fastball. He's hit 99 this summer. The guy who might have been drafted in 2020 had the draft not been shortened to just 5 rounds, but said he went to Duke, and now he's pitching well for the Ocean State Waves.
Here's the 0-1. Breaking pitch at 83. Plenty of movement, but misses above the zone to McDaniel, who, from the time I've seen, he's someone that sits fastball and adjust based on whether or not it's a breaking pitch or not. Here's the 1-1. Another breaking ball, and it misses down in the dirt. 2-1. Not sure you can tell, but there's almost like a quick twitch from McDaniel in a way when, if it's a fastball, he's ready to go. And if it's an off-speed, adjusts himself. I think it's Mike Trout that does that.
Well, he'll have to be quick twitch on this fastball.
2-1. Swing and a miss on the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Wind picking up. Cloud coverage has been nice over the last few innings. No more sun. Kind of overcasted now. I won't complain.
I don't think anyone's complaining.
No. I want to meet the person that is. As the 2-2 from Conti. Fastball races high and inside to McDaniel. It buzzes the tower, and he drops down to avoid it. So the count runs full to the starting second baseman. A long, early bout between these two to start the fourth. Payoff from Conti. And McDaniel stays alive as he fouls it over top the first base dugout. Keeps the count full. 97 that time from Conti.
Like we said all day, we're watching two really talented players battling it out, and McDaniel and Conti, and no one wants to go down easily.
Here comes another 3-2. And McDaniel takes it inside for ball 4. A patient at bat from the Mainer, and he's rewarded with a walk. Second inning in a row that the North has got their leadoff man on. Second time it's come from a walk. Dan Covino led off the game with a 5-pitch walk. And that'll bring up Jackson Ross, first baseman out of Keene, 0 for 1 with a ground out to second. Jay Harry and Chaz Myers shaded up the middle in double play depth. First pitch to Ross. Fastball right on the inside corner. Strike 1.
Well, for Conti, the big question is that command, because the fastball runs in hard, the slider has sharp break, but he's got to find the strike zone. He's done a good job of that so far for the most part.
There is that slider, and Ross does a good job holding off on that one as it misses down away. 1-1. The wind continuing to swirl here at the Shark Tank. Here's the 1-1. And Ross fouls it down the right field line. It's 1-2. So 1-2 with McDaniel over at first. McDaniel's going to dart for second. Meggers comes up firing, and it's off target into center field. McDaniel with a stolen base puts a runner in scoring position for the North Division.
And throw just off the mark, but McDaniel deciding to be aggressive. Get over to second, and all of a sudden, the North in a prime position to score a run here in the top of the fourth.
Count now at 2-2 to Ross. Daniel with the first stolen base. Nope. First stolen base for the North. Not on the day. Ledbetter stole third as the 2-2 misses down in the dirt. So it's a full count once again here to Ross. And there's that command, as you alluded to, Eli, rearing its head. Both batters so far for Conti have worked full counts.
Yeah, they're battling and just not chasing any pitches. Even the ones that are close, even the breaking balls that just dip out of the zone, they're forcing Conti to come to them. And so far, a walk and now another full count.
Here comes the payoff. And Ross flies it out to right field. Moving in Ferrer, he'll make the catch. And McDaniel will hold at second as a long throw in from right field is on the money to Snyder at third. It's Chufreda actually now over in right field. There's going to be a lot of moving parts today, so.
Well, Chufreda started in left, and then the two corner outfielders decided time to make a switch, and probably what they are allowed to do on the lineup card. They're both, all three outfielders are just listed as outfield, no position in particular.
Ledbetter still out in center field. So that brings up Tom Jostin. Struck out his first time up. Takes the first pitch ball on the outside corner. It's 1-0. Went down by the looking variety at the hands of Stephen Quigley. 1-0. Fastball misses outside. 2-0. Syracuse is the one that's on deck, one of the three Mountaineers in this lineup, all of which come in a row with Evan Fox in the hole. 2-0. That fastball misses upstairs, so now 3-0 to Jostin, and you're going to see Ocean State teammate of Conti, Chase Meggers, come out and have a conversation with him. He knows he has that velocity, but it's finding the zone. And he's been in long counts, all of which have reached 3 balls. The first 2 were full counts to McDaniel and to Ross.
Nice pat on the back by his teammate, his catcher. Just belief in Conti's been really good all summer long. There's a reason he's here, as with all these players, but has to find the command down 3-0.
Here comes the pitch. Jostin swing and a miss. And it's 3-1. That one working the bottom part of the zone.
Jostin rocking a UCF helmet.
Member of the Knights baseball team as McDaniel leads off second. Large lead. And Jostin able to work the walk. Second walk of the inning. And sandwiched in between is the fly out to right field by Jackson Ross. So now it's Jostin over at first with McDaniel on second here for Jerry Syracuse.
Now we'll see one of the members of the Bristol Blues coaching staff out to the mound to chat with Conti. Just try to calm him down, help him find that strike zone again.
While they may be on different teams, I think the great thing about this league is that everyone just wants everyone to develop and find their way further in baseball. Conti's someone that definitely has that stuff to get further in his career. You know, we've seen the high 90s fastball and hard breaking slider, but it's the command that has been the issue so far. So 2 runners on here for Jerry Syracuse, just 1 out. McDaniel darts for third, and Syracuse is hit on the first pitch, so now the bases are loaded. Both runners were going. And now the bases are juiced here for Evan Fox.
Next up, left fielder for the Vermont Mountaineers, number 1, Evan Fox.
Well, things don't get any easier for Conti.
Evan Fox has found himself to be a big hitter in big spots for Vermont. Ten RBIs on the year. You mentioned the 21 stolen bases. A very patient hitter for the man out of Stony Brook. First pitch swing, hits a slow roller to first. Martinez will flip it to Conti. He'll step on the bag. A run will score as McDaniel comes in. So an RBI ground out for Evan Fox puts the North back on the board. They trail 5-2.
And you're willing to trade an out for a run in that situation. Just try to get one more now if you're Conti and escape with just the 1 run allowed, and that would be a really nice way to bounce back for the right-hander.
Mercedes singled his first time up on a line drive up the middle. doing that again would likely score 2, as it's Syracuse now over at second with Jostin at third. First pitch races inside, and Mercedes leans out of the way, so it's a 1-0 count. Another righty-on-righty matchup as Conti looking to get his sign. And Mercedes will call time. As Conti and Meggers trying to figure out what pitch to throw. Tyler Cox is the one that stands on deck, as Dan Covino made it through the lineup for the second time. 1-0. Breaking ball well upstairs above the head of Mercedes. So now it's 2-0. We're starting to see those substitutions start to roll in, and that's what we'll likely see for the North.
2 different strategies for each team. North planning on going with subs after second at bat for the starters, so going into their third, and South going with more of an innings approach, 6 innings, but obviously all subject to change depending on how the game's rolling along.
As Mercedes fouls that one back. As it got behind Meggers, that's why you didn't see Jostin go for home, even with the shorter backstop. Still some patience for those runners. So 2-1 with 2 outs and 2 men on here for Mercedes. Conti deals. Breaking ball right in the heart of the plate. And it's 2-2, a nice bounce back pitch for the right-handed hit pitcher in the top of the 4th inning. North still trailing by 3 runs. Only with 2 hits on the day so far. Here is the 2-2. And Mercedes slices it sharply foul on a fastball that was heading low towards the ground. So the count remains at 2-2. Two from Conti. And Mercedes once again catches a piece and fouls it back. He's the last of the starters for the North. As you mentioned, that 2 times through the order, they'll swap over. Another 2-2 on the way. And Mercedes pops it up right field. Giuffreda moving over. He'll make the catch and end the inning, so the North scores 1 on the RBI ground out from Evan Fox. They cut the lead down to 3 as we head into the bottom of the 4th. 5-2 the lead for the Southern All-Stars here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Or just visiting, the fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information. The chase for the Fay Vincent Senior Cup begins on Monday, August 1st, when the 2022 New England League playoffs begin. 6 teams will qualify this year. Each of the 3 division winners and then the 3 teams with the highest winning percentages. The top 2 teams will receive a first-round bye, while the other 4 teams open things up with a single elimination wildcard round. The winning teams will advance to the best-of-3 series for the Final 4, and then the last 2 teams standing will match up in the best-of-3 NECBL Championship Series to compete for the league title and the right to hoist the Fay Vincent Senior Cup. We'll see you in August for the start of the 2022 postseason. Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League.
Back for the bottom of the fourth inning. Randy Reyes is the new one on the mound. Fourth to North Division. They trail 5-2 to the south as the top of the order comes back up in Pete Chufreda from Ocean State. Now the right fielder started in left. Well, he'll lead off facing Reyes from North Adams. Reyes on the year has a 1.39 ERA with a 1-2 record. First pitch in for strike one. Substitution at shortstop. Tyler Cox from Vermont is in as the 0-1 breaking ball misses just below the knees, 1-1. Adam Dapkowitz is still behind the plate. He'll get his first hacks at the plate. Next inning as Chufreda hits a hard ground ball underneath the glove of McDaniel, ranging to his left. And that'll skirt into right field for a leadoff single. And Chufreda once again on base for the third time already. He's 3 for 3, which will bring up Jay Harry, who's 0 for 2 so far. Second baseman for the South out of Bristol. Plays his college ball at Penn State. First pitch to him is high and outside, 1-0 from the left-handed pitcher in Reyes. Harry hits it on the ground and underneath the diving glove of McDaniel into center field. Back-to-back singles for the South. Put runners on first and second with nobody out.
Stepping up to the plate from the Newport Gulls, attending Sanford University. Give it up for number 10, Colton Ledbetter.
So we've seen McDaniel flash the leather a couple times, but here a couple hard ground balls hit towards his direction and just a bit out of reach for him. And that'll bring up Colton Ledbetter. Harry picking up his first hit just moments ago. Ledbetter also 2 for 2. Had an RBI his last time up. First pitch breaking ball misses outside. Want to know if you're just joining us, Matt Scalzo, Eli Kleinman for the 2022 All-Star Game. Nice breaking pitch, able to find the zone.
Well, this South All-Star offense just keeps rolling along. Pete Chufreda's reached base all 3 times. Ledbetter looking to make it 3 for 3 too.
He takes ball 2 upstairs, so it's 2-1. Looks like Randall Alejo is the one that's the next one warming up for the North. (2-1). Ledbetter drives it high and deep to right field. You can kiss that one goodbye. A 3-run shot for Colton Ledbetter, and he's broken this one wide open. It's 8-2 for the Southern Division. 409 feet for the Newport goal. We've been waiting all day. We saw it on display in the Home Run Derby, and now we see it come here in the All-Star game. The third home run for the South, and it's a 3-run shot for Colton Ledbetter.
Little redemption from that home run derby loss in the finals. That ball was absolutely crushed, and this top 4 of this lineup just continues to roll. 3 hits on the day for Ledbetter, 3 hits on the day for Chufreda. Make it 1 for 1 for Snyder, and he'll get a second chance, or third chance to get another hit here in only inning number 4.
And Reyes misses inside over top of the shoes of Snyder. And it's 1-0.
And Ledbetter, what a day he's had.
The 1-0 from Snyder hit back into the netting behind, and that one was destined for the wall in between me and Eli here in the press box. So it's 1-1 to the right-handed hitter, Snyder. Had that RBI single in the first that tied the game at 1. 1-1 chops it foul down the left field line, so it's 1-2. Still nobody out so far. In the bottom of the 4th, the 1-2. And Snyder continues with the hit parade, but Jerry Siracusa saying not so fast. A diving grab out in center field records the first out. Both Vermont outfielders with a pair of web gems so far today.
Wow, what a play, and that took a hit away. Had that hit fallen, the top 4 guys threw 3 times in the lineup for the South All-Stars would have been 9 for 11. Regardless, they're 8 for 11 with 5 runs scored and 5 RBIs.
So productive is the best. Yeah, that's what I would call it.
Probably a pretty good way to describe it.
1-0 from Reyes. Misses outside. 2-0 here to Kevin Ferrer. Playing in left field as it stands right now. Was in right field to start it. Him and Chufreda have swapped places. At this point, maybe he'll end up in center field with Ledbetter moving around. We don't know. 2-0 bounces in, so it's 3-0.
And I mentioned how hot the top 4 guys are in the order. Ferrer's hit the ball hard twice and has really been robbed of 2 base hits. One by Evan Fox in left, and then Quinn McDaniel, the second baseman.
Here's the 3-0, and this time he's able to get on as the fastball bounces in. And he finds himself on first base for the first time today. Someone else who's looking to find themselves on base is Slate Alford. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to, at the time, was Dan Cavino. And now it's Tyler Cox. An 8-2 lead for the South. They've eclipsed the double-digit hit mark there at 10 to the North 2. As Alford takes ball 1 down in the dirt below the knees, it's 1-0. Again, once in the dirt. Once again in the dirt. I just flipped the words around there. 2-0 here to Alford. Another powerful Newport hitter. 2-0. And Reyes once again misses down the dirt. That's the 7th straight ball thrown by the southpaw pitcher. You see Mitch Holmes walk down the third base side. The Vermont manager. Here's the 3-0 from Alford. Hit on the ground and through the left side of the infield into left field. Another single for the South and puts runners on first and second. That one just out of reach for Ryan Ignatho.
From the Newport Gulls and Central Connecticut State University, number 32, Noah Martinez.
And that'll bring up Noah Martinez. We'll see a conversation. And the one warming up in the North bullpen is Brian Craven out of Sanford. I can tell because I've been around him for a while, but also that sidearm delivery is it's a pretty big giveaway.
I was about to say, it gives it away, and the People's Choice Award, one of 2 All-Stars to be selected by the fans in a vote. And that gave the North All-Stars 10 pitchers, but they're going to try to find a way to get all 10 in, even though you only have 9 innings to work with.
This might be one of those innings, or one of those instances with the trouble Reyes has had. The South have scored 1 in the first and the third, and then 3 in the second and the fourth. At least so far in the fourth. They are looking to continue that as Noah Martinez stands in. 2 runners on, and Reyes misses downstairs once again.
When you look at the one out that the North has gotten this inning, was a line out that required a diving play by Syracuse in center, and just about anyone else in this league, that's probably also a base hit.
1-0. Martinez rips it down the right field line, and it is fair. Here comes Ferrer. He'll come in to score. Martinez heading for second. And Alford will hold over at third. An RBI double for Noah Martinez makes it 9-2 in favor of the South.
Wow, what an inning this has been for the South, and just making hard contact all day. And now you have Chase Meggers, who has to replace the super productive Thomas Bramley, but not sure he will be facing Randy Reyes.
As Mitch Holmes comes out of the dugout here, and he'll take the ball away from Randy Reyes. He just records 1 out. Not the appearance that all-star pitcher was looking for, and now we're going to see the North Division fan vote winner, Brian Craven, come in. You see a couple big smiles from Adam Dapquitz, Quinn McDaniel, both Mainers with Brian Craven, and we'll step aside for a quick break as Craven gets warmed up here in the bottom of the fourth. South up 9-2 here in the 2022 NECBL All-Star Game.
Whether you're an island resident or just visiting, the fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information. Zephyr is the official on-field cap of the NECBL. Also known as the Z-Hats, Zephyr is the authentic college hat with a loyal following of those who only wear the Z. Zephyr makes hats for over 800 colleges and channels that same energy and creativity into building custom hats of all types for pro sports teams, clothing brands, and companies everywhere. Make sure you pick up your Newport Gulls official on-field cap today. Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League.
New pitcher on the mound, it's Brian Craven, and as I like to call him, the Rooster, because he walks out to Rooster as his warm-up song. And he's the new pitcher on the mound for the North, replaces Randy Reyes as he only got 1 out here in the fourth. First pitch, high chopper, will go foul off the bat of Chase Meggers. Craven comes in this one as one of the best pitchers on the Mainers roster, was the fan vote winner in the North. 15 appearances on the year with a 1.80 ERA, 21 strikeouts, 0-1. Meggers hits that one into left field as it finds its way past Ignafo. Another run will come in to score. An RBI single for Chase Meggers brings home Slate Alford, and it's 10-2 in favor of the South.
Well, how about the productivity of that catcher spot today? 2 home runs. A little bit hard to replicate if you're Chase Meggers, but does his best. An RBI single. Nothing too shabby.
So that'll bring up Chaz Myers. Takes ball 1 on the outer portion. Craven works with a 2-seam fastball and a slider. That sidearm delivery. And Myers fouls it back. 1-1. He was joking on the ferry. He was like, I'm just going to go up to Mitch and tell him, I don't even need to warm up. You can just throw me in whenever. And here he's throwing in a tough spot for the North. They've given up 5 runs. Craven misses outside, 2-1. Here to Chaz Myers.
It's been an offensive outburst for the South all day long. You mentioned they scored a run in every inning, but 5 is by far the most, and there's only 1 away.
Myers hits a chopper through the right side of the infield and into the outfield. Martinez will score back-to-back singles. For the South, it's now 11-2. So still just 1 gone here as the top of the order comes back up. The South has batted around as Chufreda began the 4th with a single and came in to score on the 3-run home run from Colton Ledbetter. First pitch fastball misses outside, 1-0. Craven creates that weaker ground ball contact, but they've just found the gaps on the left side of the infield and on the right side here with the South in double play depth. 1-0 swing and a miss from Chufreda, 1-1. And looks like it's Danny Crossan as the one that's due up on deck here. Another one of the fan vote winners, this time for the South. 1-1. In on the hands, and Chufreda fouls it down the third base dugout. And the ball boy getting a big cheer from the North dugout as he's able to make the bare hand play. So now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Chufreda. Here's the pitch. Slider misses outside, so it's 2-2. All 6 runs in this inning have been given to Reyes, but if any of these runners are to score on base in Meggers or Myers, they will be given to Craven. Swing and a miss on the 2-2. Chufreda down on strikes, and Craven able to record a big second out on a strikeout.
Well, now you see a fan vote winner from the North versus the fan vote winner from the South. Danny Crossan probably will play until they make the sub at second base, which is supposed to come after the 6th inning, but playing in his 2nd straight All-Star game in the NECBL.
Little fan vote head-to-head moment here as Craven's first pitch misses high and inside, 1-0 to Crossan, a righty-on-righty matchup. I'm just realizing, I don't know how I didn't mention it before, but the battery right now with Dapkwitz and Craven, both of which Sanford Mainers. 1-0 Crossan chops it off home plate, and it's 1-1. This will likely only be Craven's inning of work. Just with the 10 pitchers, 9 innings. Not everyone can get a full inning, and we saw that with Reyes only getting the 1 out 1-1. Crossan hits it on the ground and out of reach for McDaniel at second base. Coming in to score will be Meggers, and now it's 12-2. Another single by the South. And this inning continues. 7 runs scored here by the Southern Division All-Stars. And now you'll see the man that cracked this one wide open. Made it 8-2 with a 3-run home run. Colton Ledbetter steps in to face Brian Craven. First pitch fastball burns the inside corner, so it's 0-1.
And wouldn't he love to do that again?
Similar situation. Runners on first and second, the 0-1. Swing and a miss on the off speed from Brian Craven, so it's 0-2. The 0-2. Ledbetter hits it on the ground, and it squeaks through the middle infield. Coming in to score will be Myers. He slides in. It's 13-2. Colton Ledbetter, another RBI, his 4th in the inning.
5th RBI overall for Ledbetter. And we've played 4 innings, and he's 4 for 4. So that'll bring up Michael Snyder, another one of the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. First pitch fouls it back into the netting. 0-1. That one was coming towards my face if the net's not there. Got a net here for a reason.
Yeah. I probably would have had it, you know.
No, easy catch.
Yeah.
Never a doubt. But for Craven, when you look at how he's pitched this inning, he hasn't pitched poorly. He's gotten a lot of soft contact. Just these ground balls have eyes in it. Just finding the holes in the infield, and the result has been 8 runs for the South.
Gets a swing and a miss from Snyder, so it's 0-2. It's just found ways around these middle infielders. It's the 0-2. Snyder hits that one straight at Cox. It eats him up. He throws on to first, and it's not in time. So that'll be an error given against Cox as the hard-hit ground ball from Michael Snyder. He bobbles it, and the speed out of the box, he's able to reach on to first. So now the bases are loaded here for Kevin Ferrer.
And everyone, all 10 hitters who have come up to the plate this inning have reached. That includes Crossan, who pinch hit for Harry.
And Ferrer takes ball 1, so it's 1-0. And once again, Craven forcing the contact that's favorable to infielders, but this time Cox not able to come up with the play. A chopper over to second base, McDaniel fields, throws to first, and the inning is over. But 8 runs coming to score for the South. They take a 13-2 lead heading into the 5th inning here at the 2022 NECBL All-Star Game.
East Coast Metal Roofing will call for your roofing needs. Thank you to East Coast Metal Roofing for being the 2022 NECBL All-Star Game sponsor.
The chase for the Fay Vincent Senior Cup begins on Monday, August 1st, when the 2022 New England League playoffs begin. 6 teams will qualify this year, each of the 3 division winners and then the 3 teams with the highest winning percentages. The top 2 teams will receive a first-round bye, while the other 4 teams open things up with a single elimination wildcard round. The winning teams will advance to the best-of-3 series for the Final 4, and then the last 2 teams standing will match up in the best-of-3 NECBL Championship Series to compete for the league title and the right to hoist the Fay Vincent Senior Cup. We'll see you in August for the start of the 2022 postseason. Whether you're an island resident or just visiting, the fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information.
We're back at the Shark Tank. Top of the fifth. It's 13-2, the South All-Stars lead. They hit around. All 10 batters that came up to the plate reached base in the bottom of the fourth, and the new pitcher is the Bristol right-hander Colin McVeigh. Also, the Fairfield University product, Eli Kleinman, Matt Scalzo. Matt, we've had a ton of runs from the South. If you had to pick one guy so far who stood out in this All-Star game that's impressed you the most, or maybe just surprised you, who would it be?
You know what? I'll give you two answers. Surprising, I'll go with Thomas Bramley from Vineyard. 2 solo home runs in his 2 at-bats. I don't think people were fully expecting that, but if you have to go with most impressive, I think I said it in the intro. He's 4 for 4 right now. He just had a 3-run home run in the 4th, followed up by an RBI single. It's Colton Ledbetter, 5 RBIs, and he's 4 for 4. I mean, it's hard to beat that. It really is.
It's kind of a what can't you do if you're Colton Ledbetter. Came close to winning the home run derby. I guess that's what he can't do. Today, he leads the league in home runs, so not like he has had a poor performance this season. McVeigh will face Tyler Cox, and here comes some of the replacements for the North All-Stars. The righty winds and deals. The first pitch right at the knees for a strike. Danny Crossan is in the game at second base. Chase Megger's the only other replacement for the South All-Stars. He's the catcher, but he's been in for an inning now. Adam Dapkowitz is on deck. The Sanford Mainer will get his first at-bat. 2-1 the count to Tyler Cox. Guy who pitched here on Thursday. First time he pitched all summer. Position player on the mound as Martha's Vineyard blew out Vermont. Attended a bunch of different schools before heading to college. 2-2 home. Just off the outside, and it runs full. Started his high school career at Oaks Christian in Southern California. It's where Kayvon Thibodeau, the newest member of the New York Giants, went to high school. Then went on to Harvard Westlake, one of the best baseball schools in Southern California, as Cox goes down for the swinging strikeout before transferring to Phillips Andover, one of the best prep schools on the East Coast. So now a meeting on the mound. After McVeigh came in, talks to his coaching staff, and it's going to be a one-batter for McVeigh. He's coming out, and that will be the end of his day. So smile on his face. Can't get much better than that. A strikeout in 1/3 of an inning. We'll step aside for the pitching change and be right back. It's the NECBL All-Star Game on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Of the NECBL. Also known as the Z-Hats, Zephyr is the authentic college hat with a loyal following of those who only wear the Z. Zephyr makes hats for over 800 colleges and channels that same energy and creativity into building custom hats of all types for pro sports teams, clothing brands, and companies everywhere. Make sure you pick up your Newport Gulls official on-field cap today. Whether you're an island resident or just visiting, the fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information. Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League.
Well, Bristol went with the coach's selection, Colin McVeigh, to begin the fifth inning, and he got the one out via the strikeout. Now back to the regularly scheduled programming or pitching alignment, and Reed Easterly comes into the game scheduled to pitch the fifth, and he will do just that. The left-hander for Mystic and Yale University by way of Katy, Texas. This summer, a .38 ERA in 11 games, 24 innings pitched, and 32 strikeouts. And he'll face the left-handed hitting catcher, Adam Dapkowitz. So it is all South Division here in this All-Star game. Easterly deals and fires in a strike at 90 miles an hour. Dapkowitz getting likely his only at-bat of the day. 3 catchers on each roster. 0-1 outside. It's 1-1. South has scored in every inning to this point. It's tap foul. The North has scored in the first and the fourth, 1 apiece. They have 2 hits, 2 runs, and 2 errors. 13 runs and 16 hits, no errors for the South team. And we are almost 2 hours into this game, and we haven't gone halfway yet.
Yeah, it was a long travel day for me when I came to Vineyard. Thankfully, I got to stay in a hotel in Falmouth last night. But, don't remind me of a late arrival back home, okay?
We've all done it this summer. That is part of the joys of summer collegiate baseball. Long trips, like trips from Martha's Vineyard up to Vermont or Martha's Vineyard up to Sanford, North Adams to Newport.
I know it's long. I just don't need to hear about it right now.
3-2 tap foul. That's why we love the game. Or maybe it's what we don't love about the game, but nevertheless.
It's an aspect of it.
It's fun.
The bus rides are fun. Play Mafia if you've played that with before. Me and Adam Dapkowitz, we have an interesting, I guess you could call it feud on Mafia. We just poke fun at each other. He's one of my favorite Mainers.
3-2 to the Mainer, and he grounds it right back to Easterly, who stabs it on the mound. On the backside, he flips it to first for out number 2. Nice play by the pitcher, showing that pitchers can field too.
Some PFP.
Absolutely is. With 2 away. Another Sanford Mainer. It's David Bermudez who comes in at third to replace Ryan Ignafo. So Ignafo's day is done. He had the RBI in the first. And it brings Bermudez to the plate.
Yeah, Bermudez, he's a quiet guy, but, once you get to know him, he's a bit more talkative. 15 RBI, still looking for his first home run. He hit thought he hit 14. In my notes, it says he hit 18 home runs for Manhattan. He had quite the year for the Jaspers, to say the least.
It's upstairs to Bermudez in his first at-bat. He'll slot in at third base. Downstairs. 2 away in the top of the 5th. This NECBL All-Star game on Martha's Vineyard. First time the game has ever been out on the island. Only 4th year for the Sharks in the NECBL is a called strike runs the count full. Last year it was at Cardines Field. 2 years before, no All-Star game in 2020. It was in Vermont. 3-2, tap foul off the foot of Bermudez, and then it popped up and landed right on his shoulder. So we'll do it again at a full count offering. That sun continues to sit behind the clouds in left field. Those clouds becoming fan favorites today. 3-2, and Bermudez rolls it foul again. Action always moving in both bullpens, with everyone getting 1 inning apiece today. Nice crowd on hand at the Shark Tank. 3-2. That is called strike 3. Bermudez goes down looking in his first at-bat. It's McVeigh who starts the inning. Easterly who finishes it. 1, 2, 3 go the North All-Stars, and the South All-Stars are coming back to bat in the bottom of the 5th.
The chase for the Fay Vincent Senior Cup begins on Monday, August 1st, when the 2022 New England League playoffs begin. 6 teams will qualify this year, each of the 3 division winners and then the 3 teams with the highest winning percentages. The top 2 teams will receive a first-round bye, while the other 4 teams open things up with a single elimination wildcard round. The winning teams will advance to the best-of-3 series for the Final 4, and then the last 2 teams standing will match up in the best-of-3 NECBL Championship Series to compete for the league title and the right to hoist the Fay Vincent Senior Cup. We'll see you in August for the start of the 2022 postseason. Whether you're an island resident or just visiting, the fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information.
Bottom of the 5th, we're halfway home in the NECBL All-Star Game. It's the South All-Stars leading 13-2 on what's turned into a very nice Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. A warm day for most of the morning, but it's cooled off and say a perfect temperature right now. For baseball, Jake Gigliotti takes the mound for the North All-Stars, the Northeastern product originally from Boston, Massachusetts, and one of many Northeastern Huskies in the NECBL. His teammate Danny Crossan just came to bat in the last half inning, and who knows, might come back to bat against him here in the bottom of the 5th. But first it'll be Slade Alford and then Noah Martinez, a pair of goals, before Chase Meggers comes back up. 8 of the 9 spots in the order came around to score in the 4th.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th for the South All-Stars.
Part of the 13-run day, 16 hits.
Gulls.
We've had some great performances. Thomas Bramley with 2 home runs and 2 at-bats before the catching substitution was made. But Colton Ledbetter has stolen the show. 5 RBIs, 4 for 4, a run scored. His teammate Slade Alford lifts one foul off to the right side for the count to move to 0-1.
Don't forget to take that foul down to Mad Martha's for a free ice cream sundae.
Alford and Ledbetter won't just be teammates this summer. They will be teammates this fall and into the spring at Mississippi State, program that won the 2021 Baseball National Championship. Swing and a miss, and Alford moves 1-2. Second straight year a school from Mississippi has won the title in college baseball. This year it was Ole Miss. Pulled off somewhat of a Cinderella run. 1-2. Outside, 2-2, and it'll be Alford and Ledbetter's job to try and stop the Rebels from repeating as champions as their in-state rivals.
Yeah, I'm interested to see those matchups come up this spring.
Swing and a miss. Alford goes down via the strikeout.
Good pitch for Gigliotti to come in. We've seen the North really struggle last couple innings in terms of pitching. We saw Randy Reyes have a tough go, and then Brian Craven came in a not-so-favorable situation, and he forced soft contact, but as you mentioned, I think is what you called, those ground balls had eyes, and they just found the openings.
That's exactly what it was. Baseball has a little life in it. Noah Martinez to the plate, the Central Connecticut State product, and Newport Gold fouls one back. That strikeout for Gigliotti was on the slider. He calls his favorite pitch. He says he gets a lot of swing and misses at that pitch, and well, that's on display here in the All-Star game. 0-1 downstairs, 1-1. Gigliotti playing his second summer for the North Shore Navigators. He did so in 2019 as well. That slider can't catch the outside corner. It's a ball. 2-1. But when he played for the Navigators in 2019, they were a part of the Futures League before transitioning to the NECBL for the second time. As Martinez rolls one the other way. Coxfield's moving to his right. The throw to first just in time to get Martinez, and quickly 2 away in the bottom of the 5th. So Chase Meggers returns to the plate, an RBI single back in the 4th. Catching spot has been productive. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored.
Yeah, productive is definitely a way to describe it. Explosive?
That's another fair way to put it.
I mean, the ball just exploded off Bramley's bat. There's no other way to put it, really. I wasn't expecting the solo shots. I don't think you were really, even though you've seen them the whole year, but he put on a show.
He did. For the home crowd, he is the Martha's Vineyard Shark, and he was the starting catcher in the All-Star game. Meggers shoots one up the middle, but waiting is Tyler Cox. The shortstop makes back-to-back plays, and Gigliotti puts up a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 5th. We head to inning number 6 at the NECBL All-Star game. It's the South leading the North 13-2 here on Martha's Vineyard.
The short side effect.
Teams located in all 6 New England states and over 100. Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League. The New England League is the most competitive brand of amateur wooden bat summer baseball in the country. With 14 teams located in all 6 New England states and over 150 Major League Baseball alumni, the league entertains our region for 2 months every summer. Student athletes from all over the country descend upon the region's most scenic communities to offer summer baseball at its finest. Now celebrating over a quarter of a century of excellence, the New England League continues to transcend communities and give the best student athletes from across the country a chance at their dream. For current team information, rosters, and schedules, visit NECBL.com. The New England League. Keep your eye on the dream.
We're in the top of the 6 in the NECBL All-Star Game. The best from around the league have descended upon Martha's Vineyard. It's Cam Hill who takes over for the South All-Stars. The Martha's Vineyard Shark in Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket stands on the mound. The tall lefty who has been fantastic this summer .86 ERA in 10 games pitched, 21 innings with 37 strikeouts. Nice 3-pitch mix. He has the 2-seam fastball that sits low 90s, slider that he can really throw at any time for a strike or as a wipeout pitch, and then really nice changeup. He'll face Max Grant to get things going, so Quinn McDaniel's day is done.
Number 9, Max Grant.
Nice day for McDaniel, a couple defensive gems, and then scored a run in the 4th. After Grant, it will be Rose. As Grant watches one outside for a ball. And the 1-0 dips outside again, 2-0.
I forgot to mention it when Ignafo got up, but our bus to the ferry, it was us, the Mainers, and then had a bunch of the Upper Valley guys get on the bus as well.
As some miscommunication off third baseline allows the baseball to drop, and count moves to 2-1. Sam Angeli is taken over at third base. The Danbury infielder. And a strike, and Hill bounces back. It's 2-2. There have been the changes made by the South. 2-2 rolled to the right side, fielded by the Sharks' second baseman Dorian Gonzalez. Flips to first just in time. One away in the top of the 6th. So we've hit the substitution line for the South All-Stars.
Heading to the plate, first baseman, North Adams, Steeple Cats, and UMass Row, number 22.
Cedric Rose comes up, working with the camera, filming himself. Says hello to the umpire, and now passes the camera off and walks to the plate. Little camera time for the showman from North Adams.
I love that. Love the players just like letting loose, being themselves.
Swing and a miss at the first pitch. It's a fun part of what the All-Star game can be. Nothing has to be taken nearly as seriously, but still want to impress. Swing and a miss at the 0-1. Rose doing double duty. He was the home run derby participant for North Adams, and now getting in the All-Star game. Eddie Micheletti takes over at first for the South All-Stars. It's Gonzalez at second. So we continue to get the defensive changes. Logan Allen moves over to shortstop. Told you Sam Angeli is the third baseman. Outfield consists of D'Onofrio in center. Believe it's Studley in right, but it's hard to tell at the moment. So the two corner outfielders are Guerrero and Studley. Swing and a miss to Rose. And that's the strikeout for Cam Hill, doing what he does best, 2 away. Seven straight retired by South All-Star pitchers. And Jonathan Hogard comes to the plate. Upper Valley product. Watches a first pitch outside.
Yeah, Hogard on the year has 4 home runs, 18 RBIs. He was a later addition due to injuries, but he's definitely had an all-star worthy kind of year for the Nighthawks.
Looking to keep the inning going. 1-1 skips in at his feet. It's 2-1. Headed to Louisiana Tech this upcoming fall. 2-1 tap foul Louisiana Tech, for every sport outside of baseball, is known as the Bulldogs, but for baseball, they go by the Diamond Dogs.
Interesting.
A little bit of a change. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hill, and he works a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th. 8 straight retired by South All-Stars, and we head to the bottom half of the inning. It's the South All-Stars 13, the North All-Stars 2 on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Official on-field cap of the NECBL. Also known as the Z-Hats, Zephyr is the authentic college hat with a loyal following of those who only wear the Z. Zephyr makes hats for over 800 colleges and channels that same energy and creativity into building custom hats of all types for pro sports teams, clothing brands, and companies everywhere. Make sure you pick up your Newport Gulls official on-field cap today. Fans, the NECBL's broadcast network brings all of the action right to your home every night. Available on your desktop, laptop, mobile device, as well as your Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Android TV device. Enjoy single-day passes for just $8, purchase a weekly subscription for $20, a monthly pass for $40, or an all-season pass for $80. Head to watch.necbl.com for more information and for a full streaming schedule.
Bottom of the 6 here at the Shark Tank. It's 13-2 in the NECBL All-Star Game. The South Division leads. Matt McShane is in to pitch. He will face Dorian Gonzalez. Second baseman from Miami. A very productive year for the Hurricanes and a productive summer for Martha's Vineyard. One of 8 Sharks in this game as he watches a strike. One of 4 Miami Hurricanes on the Sharks roster. 2 of them representing in this All-Star game. As he lifts one foul, 0-2. The other, Alejandro Torres, who will pitch later in this ball game. Oh, 2 pitch, swing and a miss. McShane gets the strikeout one away in the bottom of the 6th. Bermudez over at third, Grant at second are the infield defensive replacements, along with Rose over at first.
I also believe that Vincent Bianchina is now in at short. Because Tyler Cox, I can normally tell based on his long flow out of his hat, and I don't see that with the new shortstop, which makes me think it's the coach's selections replacement in Vincent Bianchina from North Adams. It was initially Ben Williamson, but he got hurt, and so now it's Bianchina.
So McShane faces Anthony D'Onofrio, the outfielder for Mystic. Guy who just causes chaos when he gets on base, and he watches a strike. 0-2, facing the right-hander from Upper Valley in St. Joe's. McShane already with 1 strikeout today. And D'Onofrio fouls one back. Can't get number 2 yet. Might have just seen the Sanford Mainers mascot walk into screen, just sitting to the right of your screen. 0-2, swing and a miss, a strikeout of D'Onofrio, 2 away. Speaking of mascots, Matt McShane from St. Joe's. The St. Joe's mascot, the Hawk, is an interesting mascot. Huge significance to that school. In every single sporting game, any event that the mascot is at, it never stops flapping its wings. It's a really big deal to be the St. Joe's Hawk. And not an easy task as well. Group of people that have been the mascots for St. Joe's refer to themselves as the Featherhood. Sanford Manor's mascot having some fun. 0-2 the count.
Yeah, it looked like someone was poking him in the back, and now, you know, he's confronted them. And he's poking some fun, saying he'll use the moose power.
Logan Allen watches strike 3, the newest shortstop. Goes down looking, and the inning is over. So McShane strikes out the side. We head to inning number 7 in the NECBL All-Star Game. It's the South 13, the North 2. We'll be back on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Whether you're an island resident or just visiting, the fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information. The chase for the Fay Vincent Senior Cup begins on Monday, August 1st, when the 2022 New England League playoffs begin. 6 teams will qualify this year, each of the 3 division winners and then the 3 teams with the highest winning percentages. The top 2 teams will receive a first-round bye, while the other 4 teams open things up with a single elimination wildcard round. The winning teams will advance to the best-of-3 series for the Final 4, and then the last 2 teams standing will match up in the best-of-3 NECBL Championship Series to compete for the league title and the right to hoist the Fay Vincent Senior Cup. We'll see you in August for the start of the 2022 postseason.
Back at the Shark Tank, we enter into the 7th inning, and there's been a whole lot of changes floating around defensively. We're coming towards that part of the game where everyone starts switching around. You start seeing new players in new spots, and of course there's always a new pitcher on the mound, and it's Luke Garofalo out of Bristol, the right-handed pitcher coming on out of Central Connecticut State. First pitch from him, right down the middle for strike 1 to the new center fielder, Jake McElroy, out of North Shore. And he's quickly behind, 0-2 on another fastball from Garofalo. McElroy pops the 0-2 up, foul ground down the first base side, long run, and a nice basket catch for Eddie Micheletti to record the first out.
Just want to make a correction from last inning. It was Sam Mongelli, the Danbury Westerner, who struck out to end the inning. Some confusion with all the substitutions, but we're catching up to them here in the 7th.
And now the new left fielder, Hunter Pascalini, is in. He takes ball 1. Now he takes ball 2 outside. Pascalini on the season, 272 average, a home run and 7 ribbies on the year. He drives the 2-2 straight back up the middle, drops into center field, and that's the 3rd hit for the North. They've been heavily out-hit by the Southern All-Stars. It's now 16-3, and that's the first hit since the top of the 3rd inning when Christian Mercedes led off with a single. Since then, it's been some walks, some hit by pitches, a ground out that scored a run, an RBI ground out from Evan Fox that scored Quinn McDaniel for the second run for the North. Cut the lead down to 3, but then an 8-run fourth inning put the South on top by a hefty margin as Tyler Sorrentino is the new hitter. The whole outfield's been changed. He's now playing in right field where Christian Mercedes was. And he fouls the first pitch off, so it's 0-1. He's got McElroy over at first. Beautiful breaking ball drops in to the heart of the zone, 0-2. Sorrentino chops that one towards the left side. Tries to get 2, and they will get McElroy out at second. Logan Allen with a nice jumping throw on to Gonzalez at second. And that records the first out as, Hunter Pascalini is the one that's out at second base.
And welcome to the plate from the North Adams Steeple Pats, number 24, Vincent Bianchina.
And so now Vincent Bianchina comes up. Coach's selection at shortstop replaces Tyler Cox, and he takes ball 1 in the dirt.
Bianchina, guy in the Big Ten, Northwestern, but via Northern California originally.
He pops that one up down the third base side, running over towards the fence and out of room is Sam Mongelli. So it's 1-1.
And just one more pinch hitter to come off the bench for the North, and after that they are out of hitters. Stearns, the catcher, stands on deck.
1-1, and Bianchina lifts it behind 1-2. Swing and miss on the ball in the dirt, and that'll end the inning. Garofalo records a strikeout to end it, and we'll send it to the bottom of the 7th as we'll stretch it out here at the Shark Tank. A 13-2 lead for the South Division over the North here in the 2022 New England League All-Star Game.
Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League. Whether you're an island resident or just visiting, the fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information.
Back at the Shark Tank, it's a 13-2 lead for the South Division. New pitcher on for the North. It's Randall Alejo from Upper Valley. Back-to-back pitchers for the North. From the Nighthawks, saw McShane strike out the side in the 6th, and now Alejo will get his turn. He rocks the high neon green socks. He's made 4 starts on the year, all of which have come against the Sanford Mainers, but has primarily appeared out of the bullpen since starting the year as a starter. Holds a 1.54 ERA. And to lead things off will be A.J. Guerrero.
Valley outfielder. Started his summer on the Cape and has made a splash ever since landing in Holyoke.
Holds that bat high above his head. First pitch from Alejo. Chopper hit to third. Bermudez gloves it. Throws on to first. Long stretch for Rose. He's able to snag it, and the first out is recorded. 1 pitch, 1 out for Alejo.
Now batting for the South, from the Martha's Vineyard Sharks, number 9 from the University of Tennessee, Logan Chambers.
And so now Logan Chambers will come in. One of the other All-Stars from the Vineyard. Takes first pitch off speed for strike 1.
And Chambers, 2 home runs in the last 3 games for him. He started to find the power swing.
Takes ball 1 on the outside edge. So it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 from Alejo. Chambers rips it over the right side of the infield and in for a base hit. So Chambers continues to do what he's been doing on the year. A single there.
From the University of Connecticut, number 15, Jake Studley.
And so that will bring up Jake Studley. He comes in, and while we wait for the first pitch, I'll run you through the defensive changes in case you've forgotten here as Alejo steps back on. First pitch to Studley. Breaking ball misses outside. If you look out in the outfield, Jake McElroy stands in center, flanked on his right by Sorrentino and on his left by Hunter Pascalini. Clay Stearns has entered in behind the plate, so it creates an Upper Valley battery with Stearns and Alejo as Studley fouls the 1-0 back, 1-1. And then working around the horn from third to first, it's David Bermudez, Vincent Bianchina, Max Grant, and Cedric Rose for the North. A 13-2 lead for the South here in the bottom of the 7th, the 1-1. Studley flies it out to right field. Long run, and Sorrentino will come in and make the catch for the second out.
Now batting for the South, representing the Mystic Schooners from Bryant University, number 4, Logan.
So that'll bring up Logan Allen. Comes in with 2 outs, nobody on base. The Upper Valley pitchers have been doing well. A 1-2-3 inning for McShane. And now Alejo trying to do the same here in the 7th. It's been a lot of zeros since that explosive 4th inning. First pitch down the dirt to Allen. Saw 1 run come across for the North and then 8 runs for the South. Broke that one wide open. It's starting with a 3-run home run from Colton Ledbetter.
Well, you mentioned it. In the first 4 innings, we had 2 out of 8 half innings have zeros on the scoreboard. The last 5 have been zeros. So the pitching's starting to get the better of the hitting as we go later on in this one.
1-0 fouled back by Logan Allen. I don't know how, but I forgot that Chambers had just recorded a single, so Alejo won't work a 1-2-3 inning.
A lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot.
These defensive changes, obviously you want to get everyone an opportunity to play in a game like this.
That one's popped up center field. Moving over McElroy, he'll make the catch and end the inning. So a single from Chambers. He's stranded on the bases as we head into the 8th, a 13-2 lead for the South here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
New England League is the most competitive brand of amateur wooden bat summer baseball in the country. With 14 teams located in all 6 New England states and over 150 Major League Baseball alumni, the league entertains our region for 2 months every summer. Student athletes from all over the country descend upon the region's most scenic communities to offer summer baseball at its finest. Now celebrating over a quarter of a century of excellence, the New England League continues to transcend communities and give the best student athletes from across the country a chance at their dream. For current team information, rosters, and schedules, visit NECBL.com. The New England League. Keep your eye on the dream. Zephyr is the official on-field cap of the NECBL. Also known as the Z-Hats, Zephyr is the authentic college hat with a loyal following of those who only wear the Z. Zephyr makes hats for over 800 colleges and channels that same energy and creativity into building custom hats of all types for pro sports teams, clothing brands, and companies everywhere. Make sure you pick up your Newport Gulls official on-field cap today.
Back on the Vineyard and 13-2 lead. New pitcher on the mound, and it's the Sharks' very own Alejandro Torres. Matt Scalzo, Eli Kleinman rocking with you. We're entering into the 8th inning. It's been a long one, but it's starting to go by a little quicker as some of the reserves starting to get in for their time to shine here. Torres, he's a hard-throwing right-handed pitcher for the Sharks. Eli, what's the season been like for him?
Fantastic for Alejandro Torres. The Miami product, mentioned 1 of 3 in the Vineyard this season, and a 1.42 ERA, over 19 innings pitched, 32 strikeouts. He has great stuff, fastball, breaking ball, and just a lot of fun to watch. A character, as Dorian Gonzalez has described him, one of the funniest guys, one of the nicest guys off the field, and then when he gets on the mound to pitch, he is locked in. He has that bulldog mentality on the mound, and it is a lot of fun to watch him work.
So that'll bring up Clay Stearns. He is the 3rd and final catcher for the North out of Upper Valley. Hasn't exactly had a stellar season for the Nighthawks, but he'll face the hard-throwing righty Torres. First pitch fastball clocks in at 93, and it's a strike 1 on the outer edge.
And that's a bit of what Torres can do. He throws the ball hard and then can locate it just as well.
0-1. Stearns right back up the middle. Ricochets off the left leg of Torres, and Stearns is on base there with an unorthodox single. Puts the leadoff man on for the North.
And a smile from Torres on the mound. It's not often you see that. He loves to smile when he's off the field, but on the mound it's all business, and just telling everyone he's fine. He's ready to go again, and just a ball not hit that hard, but right off his leg, and at that point no one was able to field it.
So that brings up David Bermudez from the Mainers. Takes ball 1 inside. I heard someone from the North dugout scream, "It's not over till it's over." I mean, he's right. He's not wrong. It's an 11-run hole here for the North. Just recorded their 4th hit on the single from Stearns. 1-0 just misses off the plate. 2-0.
It doesn't get easy. You're facing all-star pitchers the whole way.
The pitchers are all great. You know, you sometimes see a drop-off in the hitters from the best to some of the reserves as the 2-0 comes inside, and Bermudez able to lay off. It's 3-0. Max Grant on deck. Torres looks over at first. Here's the 3-0. And Bermudez skies it foul down the right field line. And it's 3-1.
Seen a lot of swings on 3-0 today because guys want to hit. This is an all-star game. It's about putting on a show.
Most of the time in the 3-0 count, you're going to get a gimme fastball for a strike. You might as well try and take advantage of it. Depends on how the pitcher's been doing, with Torres being relatively fresh. Here's the 3-1. Bermudez pops it foul once again. And the count runs full with the man on first. So a full count to the third baseman. Get Stearns over at first. Here's the payoff. And Bermudez once again flips it foul. Another fastball from Torres.
One interesting thing is when you're a pitcher coming in every inning, this is Torres' first time working with Mystic catcher Addison Kopak.
Another payoff, and Bermudez. Would you have guessed another foul ball? Maybe.
At the rate he's going.
I believe that's the fourth consecutive foul ball hit by David Bermudez. War number 10 for Manhattan. Has worn number 7 this year, and right now he's rocking number 8 for the North Division. He's got Stearns over at first, and he is still in a full count facing Alejandro Torres. Here's the pitch. Bermudez again fouls it back into the netting. He's making Torres work for this one. It's been a lot of changes, but I think we're getting, or we found ourselves with all the substitutions made. 3-2. Foul tipped and into the glove of Kopak as Bermudez goes down on strikes for the first out here in the 8th.
Yeah, everyone off the bench has now played. Only thing we're missing is a couple pitchers who still need to get into the game, but they will in due time. Everyone, all 30 from both teams, are going to make an appearance today.
Sonny Fauci now up in the North bullpen. That's a ball to Max Grant at a Canisius Jesuit school in New York. His Upper Valley teammate in Stearns over at first, held on by Eddie Micheletti. He takes ball 2 high and outside. Give you a quick rundown of the new outfield for the South, or new defense, really. Anthony D'Onofrio in center with Guerrero on his left and Studley on his right. Here's the 2-0 now from Torres. And Grant clips it foul and out of play, so it's 2-1. Looking from first to third, you have Eddie Micheletti at first, Dorian Gonzalez from Martha's Vineyard on second, Logan Allen at short, and Sam Mongelli at third with Addison Kopak, as Eli mentioned. Behind the plate, Logan Chambers is the new designated hitter. Grant drives that one back up the middle and into the glove of D'Onofrio in center field for the second out.
Now batting for the North.
Can't hit a ball much harder than that, but you're hitting it at a center fielder who is explosive defensively. Didn't need to move much there, but he can fly.
I mean, that's what you look for in a center fielder, someone that's got plenty of range and speed. We saw it with Syracuse out in center field when it looked like one was destined to drop in for another hit for the South in that big 4th inning, but he showed off his range to make a nice diving grab. So now Cedric Rose comes in. Takes a first pitch breaking ball for strike one. Stearns led off the inning with a single and then a strikeout and a flyout has Torres 1 out away from ending the inning. That one swing and a miss. Throw down over to first, and Stearns dives back in time. Addison Kopak showing the aggressiveness. Rose his first time up, he struck out.
Catcher attacking catcher right there.
Oh, catcher on catcher crime.
Absolutely.
No balls, 2 strikes to Rose. Stearns over at first. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Rose goes down on strikes. Kopak on the drop third picks it up and tags out Rose. So that'll end the top of the 8th. We'll head to the bottom half with a 13-2 advantage for the South here in the 2022 NECBL All-Star Game.
Zephyr is the official on-field cap of the NECBL. Also known as the Z-Hats, Zephyr is the authentic college hat with a loyal following of those who only wear the Z. Zephyr makes hats for over 800 colleges and channels that same energy and creativity into building custom hats of all types for pro sports teams, clothing brands, and companies everywhere. Make sure you pick up your Newport Gulls official on-field cap today. Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League.
Back in the bottom of the 8th here from the Shark Tank. We're coming down towards the end of this year's All-Star Game, and one of the final pitchers here for the North, Sonny Fauci from the Mainers, coming in. Has been one of the best in terms of strikeouts, and he's had an excellent bounce-back year since he's coming off a Tommy John surgery that I learned about coming down here. It'll be Eddie Micheletti, Addison Kopak, and Dorian Gonzalez as the ones due up here. 7, 8, and 9 in the South lineup. Fauci has a fastball, also has a cutter along with a breaking ball. Has a lot of movement on that breaking ball, almost like a 12-6 curveball. At a St. John's this past year, with the Red Storm, he had a pretty solid year. Here, 8 games, started 3, went 2-2 in those games. And so now it'll start with Eddie Micheletti, first baseman out of George Washington. Plays for Valley, I believe, right?
Micheletti?
Yes.
Mystic.
Oh, I knew it was one of them. It's bad by me. He has one of the best names in the NECBL, I must say, as he swings and misses on the first pitch fastball from Sonny Fauci, clocking in at 93 miles an hour. Oh, 1. Another swing and a miss on another fastball from the tall righty.
When if you talk to Jacob Irons, the broadcaster for Mystic, he'll tell you Eddie Micheletti is the guy who's just that clutch hitter on that team. Comes up with a bunch of really important hits. Had a walk-off just about a week ago for the Schooners. But he's the guy when you have runners on base. That's who you want at the plate if you're Mystic.
He's in an 0-2 hole as Fauci kicks and deals. That fastball misses up above his head, so it's 1-2. On deck is Addison Kopak. Check swing, he holds off, 2-2. Two from Fauci. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Micheletti goes down by way of the K. This time by the looking variety, and there's one gone here in the 8th.
The later we get, the pitchers just continue to run through these lineups. No runs since the 4th inning.
And that was an 8-run bottom of the 4th for the Southern Division. Made it 13-2. That's where we stand. First pitch to Addison Kopak. There's that off speed from Fauci. Makes it 0-1. I think he calls it a cutter. 0-1. Finds the outside corner. 0-2. He's quickly ahead to Kopak like he did to Micheletti. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball just misses upstairs, 1-2. There you see that wicked movement from the righty. Came into today with 41 strikeouts, one of the top marks in the league. The 1-2. And catching a piece there is Kopak. He fouls it back.
Kopak, such a versatile player. He really can play anywhere, and that's literally 9 different positions. And today, the catcher in this All-Star game.
1-2. Kopak again, catches a piece, lifts it foul, keeps the count at 1-2. I mean, the catchers have been, at least for the South, have been outstanding. Meggers did a good job in his time, had an RBI, but Thomas Bramley, the catcher for the Vineyard, 2 for 2, 2 solo home runs out to right field, one of which clipped the foul pole down the line. Here's the 1-2 now to Kopak. And that one just misses outside, 2-2.
He's come close to 2 strikeouts against Kopak, but yeah, I mean, Bramley really set the tone in this ball game. Just 2 home runs helped the South gain their lead and then helped pad it later in the game.
2-2 breaking ball. Misses high and inside to Kopak, and he's been able to battle back and work a full count. Here comes the payoff from Fauci. That's lifted out into right field. Moving over is Sorrentino. They'll make the grab for the second out.
Now batting for the South, from your Martha's Vineyard Sharks and the University of Miami, number 6, Dorian Gonzalez.
So that'll bring up Dorian Gonzalez. It'll be his first at-bat in this one. Takes ball 1 outside on the fastball from Fauci. Fauci kicks and deals the 1-0. Down in the dirt on the off-speed 2-0. 11 of the last 12 Southern hitters have been retired by the Northern pitchers. 2-0, big swing and a miss from Gonzalez. 2-1.
Well, the pitching's come back for the North. Looking to throw 4 scoreless frames if they can get this final out.
2-1. Gonzalez catches a piece, tips it into the glove of Kopak, and now Fauci's the one battling back after falling behind 2-0. It's 2-2. And he's looking to work a 1-2-3 frame. Here's the 2-2. Gonzalez drives it down the right field line, and it is out of reach for Sorrentino. It'll one hop into the wall. Gonzalez, a stand-up, 2-out double in the bottom of the 8th.
What a good piece of hitting by Dorian. Has those hands above his head, the fin, representing the Sharks in this All-Star game. And really all the Sharks have made an impact today. Can look throughout the lineup. I think Bramley's the one that stands out the most with 2 home runs and 2 at-bats. And he threw out a base runner. Don't forget about that. But Michael Snyder an impact. Logan Chambers a hit. Now Dorian Gonzalez picks up a base hit. Danny Crossan.
First pitch fouled back from Anthony D'Onofrio. I mean, Bramley just had a day. He had himself a day, is the best way to put it.
2 home runs coming in, and he had 2 home runs in 2 at-bats.
Against 2 of the best pitchers in the NECBL this past year. Against McFall and Besser. 0-1, fouls it back into the netting is D'Onofrio. It's 0-2.
But we talk about Bramley, and we should, and we likely will more and more as we finish this game out. But every Sharks hitter had a hit. And all 3 Sharks pitchers threw a scoreless frame. So just something of note for a team that brought 8 All-Stars. Not really brought. Kept 8 All-Stars here at home for this game. Good showing in front of the home crowd.
Fauci trying to put out a good outing for the Mainers. The 0-2 off the glove of Kopak. It quickly bounces off the backstop and holds Gonzalez over at second. So it's now 1-2. Always a good showing when you have a starting second baseman, starting pitcher, and you're still waiting to see Brady Afton for the Mainers, the closer. He'll likely get the bottom of the 9th. One-two. Hit on the ground, backhanded by Rose, flips to Fauci, steps on first, ends the inning. So a scoreless frame for Sonny Fauci, only gives up the lone double to Dorian Gonzalez. And I'll hand it back off to Eli for the 9th inning here in the 2022 NECBL All-Star Game. It's 13-2 in favor of the South.
Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League. The New England League is the most competitive brand of amateur wooden bat summer baseball in the country. With 14 teams located in all 6 New England states and over 150 Major League Baseball alumni, the league entertains our region for 2 months every summer. Student athletes from all over the country descend upon the region's most scenic communities to offer summer baseball at its finest. Now celebrating over a quarter of a century of excellence, the New England League continues to transcend communities and give the best student athletes from across the country a chance at their dream. For current team information, rosters, and schedules, visit NECBL.com. The New England League. Keep your eye on the dream. Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League.
We play into the 9th in this NECBL All-Star Game. It's 13-2 with the South over the North. Eli Kleinman, Matt Scalzo, we've enjoyed bringing you all the action today, the Home Run Derby, which Ryan Ignafo beat out Colton Ledbetter, and this fun, offensive early All-Star game, which has turned into a lot of great pitching in the second half of this game. We will play through the bottom of the ninth. Both teams will get to hit all 9 innings as the first pitch from Brooks I down low, 1-0 the count to Jonathan Hogard. And make it 2-0 as another fastball misses below the zone. This is the closer for South Division. Both the starter and the closer for both sides come from one team. It's Ocean State that delivers the starter and the closer, Tyler Mudd and Brooks I. On the other side, it's Bryce Afton and Brady Afton. As the 3-0 rope foul down the left field line, it's 3-1 to Hogard, who's looking to swing the bat.
And if you want to make it even more, closer, you mentioned the last names of the opener or the starter and the closer for the Mainers. Bryce and Brady Afton, brothers. Brady, the younger one of the two.
3-1 popped up and foul, 3-2. Well, the older brother started. Younger brother will look to close things out for the North. More likely than not trailing, heading into the bottom of ninth, is the 3-2 chopped up the middle. Dorian Gonzalez with the backhand. He flings it to first, and it's a little offline. Eddie Micheletti can't apply the tag, so Hogard reaches.
Now batting for the North, representing the North Shore Navigators.
On the base hit.
From the Holy Cross, number 2, Jake.
So Jake McElroy comes up to bat, center fielder from North Shore and Holy Cross, where he's teammates with Tyler Mudd, the starting pitcher in this game for the South team. Brooks I working from the stretch and half swing in which McElroy goes around 0-1. Brooks I, originally from Philadelphia, now headed to Indiana after 2 years at Fordham. 0-1 chop foul. Philadelphia, he went to Central High School, second oldest continuously used public high school in the United States. Founded all the way back in 1836, so we're not that far from 200 years of Central High School. Oh-2. Paints the outside corner, strike 3, and McElroy goes down looking. Brooks I records his first out. One interesting thing about Central High School as well is, while we all use classes at most high schools, colleges, class of 2022, that's the graduating year, they do it as in number of graduating class. So 280th graduating class, 281st graduating class, and that's because there was 2 graduations for a while. Now they're down to just 1, as in most normal schools do it. As that's inside high schools, that is. Ball no strikes. In college, you can graduate in the winter or the spring. Hunter Pasqualini to the plate. The runner at first. He pops one up. It'll get out of play. North Adams Steeplecat, one of many Central Connecticut State Blue Devils in this All-Star game. They populate this league, and a lot of them have a ton of talent as well. Skips in the dirt. Kopak to pick it up. Runner to second. The throw not in time. Sliding in safely is Hogard. A wild pitch. We've had the pitchers dominate since the 4th. 8 scoreless frames in a row after only 2 in the first 8. Looking to finish this one up. Pasqualini lines one to center. D'Onofrio first step in. Moves back to make the grab. Throw will go to third, and Hogard will stay at second. So 2 away. And Brooks Eye looking for the final out for the South team. Despite trailing by 11 runs, the North team will come out and pitch. Brady Afton will get in, and a couple more guys on the South team will get at-bats before celebrating the victory.
Yeah, you got to be able to showcase everyone that you have. And, you know, despite not being in an opportunity to get, say, a save, Afton's been one of the best pitchers in the league.
Sorrentino rolls one up the middle, fielded by Allen. Across the bag, he throws to first in time. The shortstop from Mystic flashing the leather will head to the bottom of the ninth in the NECBL All-Star game. And Mongelli, Guerrero, and Chambers are coming up. It's Brady Afton coming in. The South All-Stars lead 13-2 here on Martha's Vineyard.
Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information.
We have a half inning to go in this NECBL All-Star game. 13-2, the South leads. They'll come to bat for one final time. Brady Afton takes over on the mound. The Sanford Mainers closer looks to finish what his older brother started.
Yeah, Brady Afton out of UConn. You know, Bryce Afton started the game. And the craziest thing about them is that they are just polar opposites of each other. Bryce is quieter. I like to call him a smooth operator. And then Brady, he's been nicknamed the Honey Badger of the Mainers. He's got an outgoing personality, very confident guy, very outspoken, I think is the best way to put it. Came in quiet, but you know, he's got a great personality, great energy that he brings in. He's just got some excellent pitches, fastball, slider, changeup. They all are great pitches.
Well, we finish out this All-Star game, which has been a very fun day. It's fouled back by Sam Mongelli. 0-1. We've had a blast. Matt Scalzo here, not the only broadcasters to show up. Noah McLean made the trip, one of our favorites from Vermont. J.C. Calavita came as well. And supposedly so did Jeremy Goldstein. In this ninth inning, it's outside, 1-2. But truly a shout out to all the broadcasters across the league. We've all worked with each other. It's been a lot of fun this summer, and it really wouldn't be the same without all of them. It's the 1-2 outside, 2-2. So we about to wrap up the NECBL season. 1 week to go. All divisional play the rest of the way outside of a couple games tomorrow. So it's chopped to first. Rose calls off Afton. He'll take it to the bag, one away. And with this All-Star Game coverage, we couldn't have done it without the crew from Newport that decided to make the trip over and bring the cameras, all the equipment we've had, camera operators, producers. I want to give a shout out to Christopher Dring, Ben Logel, Graham Butziger, the 3 camera operators, Colby Mason, who's done all the graphics today, as the first pitch is a called strike to AJ Guerrero, and of course the producer and broadcast expert extraordinaire Tom Lima, who's run the show all day long. Truly wouldn't be able to do it without all these people. You only see us, although we got Christopher Dring over right behind home plate. You can see him all day long, but nice wave to the camera. It's 2-1 to Guerrero, but this production would not be possible without all these people, and it's made it hopefully a much more enjoyable experience for all you fans at home. It's 2-2 to Guerrero in the 9th. So we thank the Newport crew for coming out and helping us today. As the 2-2 lifted high in the air into shallow right field, it's Sorrentino who calls and catches the baseball. 2 away in the bottom of the 9th, and we are 1 out away from wrapping up this All-Star Game. After the game, we'll have the MVP ceremony, then we'll wrap it up, our coverage here. Everyone will then head to the ferry to get off the island. One of the more interesting parts of this All-Star Game. I know you're excited for that, Matt.
Oh, I'm thrilled. I might have sounded sour about it before, but the ferry is a cool experience and time to share with, teammates and whatever else. I don't know why Noah's giving me a stare there.
Oh, 1 skips in the dirt. That's Noah McLean, the Vermont broadcaster. He's been on the road for 3 straight days. It started here, 4 straight days. Apologies to all the Mountaineers who have traveled down to the coastal. They played the Sharks on Thursday, Navigators on Friday, and Newport on Saturday, and now they're here. Skips in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. The count to Logan Chambers with 2 away. Another one of those Sharks who's had a good day, 1 for 1. It's the designated hitter, the everyday center fielder at this point for Martha's Vineyard. After looking for a 1-2-3 inning, Chambers lifts one to left. Moving to his left is Pasqualini. He'll make the catch and end the inning, and that will end the ball game. It's the South All-Stars who get the best of the North this year. The final score 13-18. Final box score 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the North All-Stars, 13 runs and 18 hits for the South All-Stars. 8-run inning in the 4th, but the highlight of the day has to be the 2 home run day and 2 at-bats by Thomas Bramley.
Yeah, 2 for 2 for someone that came in with just two blasts on the year. He picks up 2 solo shots in this one, and I'd have to imagine, he's a heavy favorite to pick up that All-Star Game MVP for this one. And what was, the first 4 innings were a lot of offense, especially for the South, and then the rest of the way, it's just good pitching.
We will do handshakes after this All-Star Game. Friends on both sides. As the MVP trophy will be presented as soon as a team are done shaking hands. But what a fun game. The offense came out early. A lot of fun to watch. All these guys swing the bats, and then the pitching buckled down and gave us 5 scoreless innings to finish things off. We had 15 runs through 4 innings, 0 runs in the last 5, and that's what you can expect in an All-Star game. Both sides, the pitching and the hitting, just really good, and it was a battle all afternoon between the pitchers and the hitters on both sides.
Yeah, and that, as you mentioned, is how it normally goes. You get the best of the best to start it off in the first 4 innings or so, and I'd say most of the time you see the hitters get the best of the hitters, or hitters get the best of the pitchers, and so that's what you saw happen today.
We'll send it down to the field for the All-Star MVP ceremony.
young Martha's Vineyard guy, Thomas Brown.
So Thomas Bramley is your All-Star Game MVP, well-deserving. 2 at-bats, 2 home runs, and then also threw out a base runner for good measure. As the GM of the Sharks hosting All-Star Game, Russ Curran, and Bramley take that photo. And all the Sharks now will come take a photo. 8 of them in total. All 3 pitchers threw a scoreless frame. Every Shark hitter, all 5 of them had a base hit. But Bramley certainly the hero of the day for the South All-Stars. And what a fun experience, what a game, watching all this talent out here today.
It was a fun time. It was a great time spending it with you, Eli, and the rest of this production crew from Newport. They were exceptional. I had a friend text me. He was like, all these camera angles are sick. And I was like, well, it wouldn't be possible without Newport. They have a great setup at Cardines, and they were thankful enough to bring it over here. It was an outstanding day. You know what? If you want to get really technical, Vineyard actually technically had 9 All-Stars, Eli, because of you.
Well, I appreciate that. Make it 8 for Sanford Mainers because of you, Matt Scalzo. It's been a pleasure broadcasting with you today, and a big shout-out to the Martha's Vineyard Sharks for hosting this All-Star Game. It took a lot to get it all organized, including figuring out the ferry rides across. Just one other thing to add as we wrap up this coverage of the All-Star Game here from the Shark Tank. It's been a fun one. Ryan Ignafo started off by winning the Home Run Derby. It was the South All-Stars who scored early and often to finish the All-Star Game off with a final score of 13-2, 5 scoreless innings to finish it out. And that will do it from us here today. For Matt Scalzo and myself, Eli Kleinman, we say so long from Martha's Vineyard. Have a good night, everyone, and so long.